Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Awakened SSSSS-Level Dual Talents, enslave the nine-tailed god Ahri on the spot. Chapter 61. What about the foot basin? Su Wu secretly sighed with regret, and he asked casually. Vasabi hurriedly replied. The hidden dangers of their Farong Peak still exist, and in order to express their loyalty to us, they took the initiative to let our disaster professionals connect all the disaster points in their territory. In addition, there is a professional camp on Farong Peak. That camp is controlled by us, and the foot basin people are auxiliary. If they have any other intentions, we can detonate Farong Peak at any time, and then the foot basin will be dismembered and shattered. He said solemnly. However, some senior professionals and some seeds of the foot basin have been transferred to strongholds and bases outside the Blue Star. Most of those who stayed there are the foot basin's senior officials, the military, and the chaebol. In their view, only the nobles can live on the Blue Star, and those lowly fools can only go to the outer planets to mine, and they don't even have the qualifications to change their jobs. Vasabi said a lot. After listening, Su Wu immediately had a plan in his mind. He then arranged for Vasabi to leave. Continue. Capture all the professionals in this level. All the professionals in Shengxia Empire are locked up. Those from other countries. Su Wu muttered softly. At the same time, Moon, in the trial list hall of the Blue Star Professional Joint Committee. When Les of Ugly Country was paying attention to the changes in the list, his face suddenly changed. The list of Ugly Country disappeared. What? Les stood up suddenly and looked at the overall list. He found that all the participating professionals in Ugly Country disappeared. Bang! Les' face turned pale and he sat there in a daze. What happened? Huh? Wu Yu frowned after seeing it. The situation in front of him was too weird. This is a change that has never happened in decades. Representatives of other countries also discovered this change. Their faces became a little embarrassed. The representative of the foot basin came forward in a fake manner and whispered to comfort him, Sir Rice. Don't worry, we will follow your guidance and complete this trial. Rice, did you drink the celebratory wine too early? The representative of the Divine Bear Empire came over with a wine glass, and he said in a gentle manner, Feast of you dead wastes. Splash! He spilled the wine on the ground. The representative of the White Elephant looked at the list in silence, his hands shaking uncontrollably. He was secretly observing Wu Yu, and when he saw that Wu Yu was also shocked, he looked at the representatives of other countries. The representative of the Korean country was like a quail, hiding in the corner and not daring to speak. Could this be made by our Park Jinfin wooden man? This is too cool. Before he finished speaking, he suddenly discovered. The Park Jinfin in their list suddenly disappeared. This made him cry with joy. Woo! 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 Who the hell did this? Don't let me catch you, I'm going to kill you. Woo! Woo! If His Majesty the King knew that His Excellency the Prince was dead, CBI. At this time, representatives of various countries kept exclaiming. The atmosphere in the hall became extremely tense. Time passed little by little. One day later, everyone looked at the overall list numbly. Because more than 1,000 of the 3,000 professionals on the list were promoted. The Ugly Country was completely destroyed. The White Elephants were completely destroyed. The Sticks were completely destroyed. Even Chekhnevsky of the Divine Bear Empire was gone. There were only 5 players left from Persia. Everyone looked sad and angry. Wu Yu stared at the list blankly, and couldn't help muttering, is it because of the huge benefits of the first level that the second level became more difficult? He found that some professionals of the Divine Shah Empire also disappeared from the list. This is obvious. If this matter was done by professionals from a certain country, then the ones who suffered losses should be the enemy countries, rather than all 27 countries being hurt indiscriminately. Time flies. 4 days later, there are only a few trialists still alive in the second level. There are only 5 professionals from 4 countries left. Among them, there are 2 professionals from Foot Basin, 1 professional from the Divine Bear Empire, 1 professional from the Divine Shah Empire, and 1 professional from the Camel. This made the representative of Foot Basin laugh wildly, and he said arrogantly, It seems that my foot basin has the greatest chance of winning this time. Day 10. Su Wu got up from the bed. The extravagant life these days is too bad for his waist. He decided to eat vegetarian food for a few days. Ahri woke up from her sleep, and she hurriedly got up to help Su Wu dress. Master. You got up so early today. We are about to enter the third level, and it's time to let the seeds go out for a walk. Su Wu muttered softly. Since he gathered all the trialists, he began to live a shepherding life. Although the monsters outside are endless. But under Hal's power, almost all of them have become the source of Hal's power. Now, all 98 professionals of the Shengxia Empire who entered the second level were enslaved by him, and through Ahri's infinite charm, they were all transferred to the slave space and entered a long dream journey. For this reason, Su Wu released all 100 enslaved Tauren warriors. 0. As for whether it is effective, it is not Su Wu's business. Anyway, the good food and drink in the slave space are taken. As for the other slaves placed outside, Su Wu has other uses. That's it. The professionals of Foot Basin, Godbear and Camel left the Har Castle and went to an area more than 10 kilometers away according to Su Wu's instructions. After Su Wu washed up, came to the control hall of the castle. Now there are 1,000 skeleton spearmen and 1,000 skeleton longbowmen stationed inside the castle. These longbowmen are archers with bone wings that can fly. The panel data is exactly the same as the skeleton spearmen. Su Wu cannot upgrade them through blood crystals. Ahri cannot upgrade them through skills. Because this is Hal's subordinate, only Hal can control it. In order to exchange for these 2,000 troops, Su Wu took most of the equipment and materials he harvested this time. He left behind 360 sets of rage suits, 840 sets of cat suits, and 1,224 sets of meditation suits. All the contributions of the professionals of the Shengxia Empire after being enslaved were returned by Su Wu. He also has gold coins contributed by 2,902 professionals. These gold coins are not online currency, but real gold coins, which are universal on Blue Star. There are a total of 1.8 trillion gold coins. This is 12 times the gold coins contributed by these nearly 3,000 professionals. It's so cool. Add the gold coins in Su Wu's Chenkin network account. He can't spend all this money. After absorbing the vitality of more than 2,000 professionals, the 7-year-old gourd vine finally sprouted and bore fruit. No more, no less. Produced exactly 7 gourds. Another 7-year-old gourd vine had just started to climb. At the same time, he also sacrificed all the storage rings of these 2,901 professionals to the slave space. This caused the diameter of the slave space to surge to 2,600 kilometers. The surge in space, it also allowed Su Wu to use more land. Now, in the slave space, Iron Pig, Shadow Assassin and Goblin Queen turned into farmers and were plowing the land day and night. Similarly, Su Wu also took turns to plow several plots of land in the castle. The feeling now is, tired waist pain, in the blink of an eye. The 10th day passed in a flash. A prompt appeared in front of Su Wu again. Congratulations on successfully passing the second level. You get 100,000 points. Buzz. The next second, a list appeared in front of him. International Life and Death Trial Ranking. First place, Su Wu, 4.72 million points. Second place, Guda Takeshi, 113,011 points. Third place, Sergey, 119,901 points. Fourth place, Aziz, 119,821 points. Fifth place, Fujikawa Shizu, 110,800 points. In the Blue Star Joint Committee Trial Ranking Hall, the representative of the Foot Basin, Minamoto Yoshihima, looked at his own name on the list. He couldn't help but clenched his fist, and the smile on his face could no longer be concealed. Great. I didn't expect Princess Shizu to be so lucky to survive to the end. Now the royal family has explained the past. Guda Takeshi is one of the seeds recommended by the military. He is also lucky. He became the second place. It's amazing. He muttered softly. Les, the ugly country next to him, kicked Yuan Yishang in the chest. He looked at Yuan Yishang angrily and shouted, "Trash. Beast. Why can 2 of you dirty lackeys survive, but none of us can survive? Is it you who did it? You bunch of scum in the gutter. How dare you plot against us?" He seemed to be in a frenzy. He heard the sound of broken bones coming from Yuan Yishang under his feet. The representatives of the surrounding sticks, maple leaves, etc. looked even more solemn. At this time, The representative of the God Bear Empire suddenly joined in. Asshole. I didn't expect that it was your insidious means that almost wiped out our seeds. Shouted 30. The burly representative of the God Bear country, who was like a brown bear, joined the action of beating the foot basin. This shout let the ugly country representative less, who was trying to have fun, startled. When he was about to say something, I saw Persia, Camel, Hans, Gaul, etc. all joined the chaos. In the blink of an eye. Even the sticks and white elephants joined the battle to beat Yuan Yishang. Wu Yu heard the sound of broken bones, as well as the shouting and begging for mercy. The corner of his mouth slightly tilted, deliberately letting the Shenwu guards who came forward to maintain order slow down. After 10 minutes, when Yuan Yishang was seriously injured, the leader of the Shenwu guards stepped forward to use the power of the Basin's rules to separate the representatives. At the same time, the leader of the Shenwu guards said to Les of the ugly country in a serious manner, Mr. Les. According to the accusations at the scene, the cause of this incident was because you discovered the BA who manipulated the trial of the foot basin. At this point, he paused slightly. Then, he turned his head and glanced around. When the other representatives around him showed doubts and confirmation, the leader of the Shenwu guards directly used his authority and teleported Les to another room. For a while, rumors began to spread in the hall that Foot Basin had found the control trial and wiped out the players from other countries. The representative of the Koreans said to the representative of the white elephant next to him righteously, yes. I heard it all. Mr. Rice wanted to pay for information, but the Minamoto Yoshikuma of Foot Basin was dismissive, which annoyed Mr. Rice. I said it. We are dogs. We are not fulfilling our responsibilities. We should have killed Minamoto Yoshikuma just now. Wu Yu ignored the rumors in the hall. He believed that most people here would definitely not believe it. But, even if they didn't believe it, in front of the results in front of them, everyone had to believe 1/3 of it. Why? Because the two weakest people in Foot Basin survived. One is a princess, and the other is the son of a military official. Other countries are not so lucky. Why does no one doubt Su Wu? Su Wu got 4 million points in the first stage. Definitely not a weakling. In everyone's heart, Su Wu is already the invincible existence of this session. Wu Yu thought a lot in his mind. Could it be that this is really not Su Wu's doing? He really hoped that this was Su Wu's doing, although this made him a little uncomfortable. After all, there are seed players from Shengxia country in it. But it is better than the rumors in the hall that the Foot Basin has the secret to manipulate the trial. What a headache. Wu Yu's eyes were filled with dangerous light. If it is really a Foot Basin, then Yuan Yishang, Go Tianwu and Fujikawa Shizuyi. The next second, he came to a hillside. Below the hillside was a darkness that seemed to have no end. In the darkness, one could vaguely see beetle-like demon insects crawling frantically. The sound of rustling was endless. He turned around and looked up. But he saw that the top of the hillside seemed to have no end. The higher he climbed, the more bumps there were on the ground that could be climbed and grasped. The steeper the slope. In some areas, there were light curtains covered with different lights. There were lights of white, gray, yellow, red and other colors. The area where these lights were scattered was very large. Just as Su Wu was observing. Buzz. Not far from him. Gotada Takeshi teleported over. Farther away, Fujikawa Shizuka, Aziz and Sergei all appeared not far away. When everyone bowed to Su Wu and greeted him. Boom. A violent sound came from the sky and the earth. A ray of light rose in the darkness below them. The light briefly illuminated the darkness. Below, I saw a group of black beetles that looked like dung beetles. The beetles were about 5 meters tall, with shiny black shells and saw-like mouthparts. Su Wu immediately used detection on them. Bloodthirsty Scarab, Elite Boss. Level 30. Strength, 5,000. Agility, 2,000. Spirit, 5,000. Constitution, 5,000. Skills, Paralysis Level 3, Stun Level 3, Gnawing Level 3. Talent, Control Immunity Level 3. Looking at the scarab in front of him, Su Wu tried to enslave it. Too far. Su Wu blinked and walked a distance downward. At the same time, he released Tiger King, Fiery Fox, Ghoul, Goblin Queen, Gobmai, Morgana, Ahri, Shadow Assassin, and Iron Pig. Let them climb first to grab the treasures on the way. Seeing this, the other enslaved human slaves also hurriedly climbed upwards. When Su Wu came to about 10 meters away from the black area, there was no area to climb. He risked using the enslavement skill on the scarab that was about to climb below. Buzz. Congratulations on successfully enslaving the bloodthirsty scarab. Like other monsters in Trial Copy 507, the scarab did not offer anything. What surprised Su Wu was, the other unenslaved scarabs around did not attack his slaves. This indicates that the scarabs enslaved by him will not be attacked by their own kind. Su Wu immediately looked at its skills. Paralysis Level 3 release an electric current to enemies within a range of 30 meters, paralyzing the target for 3 seconds. Stun Level 3 knock the target unconscious for 3 seconds. Gnawing Level 3 gnawing everything to gain 4-dimensional attributes. Control Immunity Level 3 60% chance to be immune to all control skills. This skill and talent are incredible. Su Wu was overjoyed after seeing it. Beep. You have 5 minutes to prepare. After 5 minutes, the dark frenzy will continue to devour everything around you. Everything that falls into the darkness will turn into nothingness and die. Please do everything you can to escape. Please hold on for 10 days. Countdown begins. 4 minutes and 59 seconds. A countdown appeared in front of Su Wu. He didn't care about anything else. He hurriedly memorized the actual combat enslavement of the scarabs around him. When there were 4 minutes and 26 seconds left, Su Wu had enslaved 35 scarabs. His 310 enslavement slots were now full. Go, muttered. Su Wu turned around and raised his foot to run upwards. The 35 slaves behind him were lined up in a row, just controlling the area dozens of meters behind Su Wu. Beep. Run for your life. The countdown ended. A prompt appeared in Su Wu's sight. Then, the dark frenzy behind him burst into a crazy gnawing sound. This sound made people's scalps numb and their whole bodies tremble. Su Wu turned his head and saw. The scarabs were eating the ground frantically. The earth was swallowed by the abyss. It was disappearing at a speed of 30 centimeters per second. The 33 scarab slaves were slightly slower under Su Wu's control. As expected, they lowered a line. But the scarabs in other areas were higher. They were gathering towards the lowered area. Seeing this, Su Wu hurriedly let the scarab slaves occupy the first line and maintain the current fastest speed. He turned around and ran forward. According to the panel of the scarab, it can be judged that the agility of the scarab is only 2,000 points. This is far lower than the current survivors. As long as you are not greedy, learn to use the distance difference to rest. There is no problem to persist to the end. But if you want to take the treasures in other areas around, and want to be the first, kill the hostile targets. This will only slow down the speed of the trial. Now in this level, it can be said that Su Wu is walking alone. As long as he doesn't say anything, the slaves here will never be able to cross the first place line. It is even more impossible to bring anything back. Su Wu quickly surpassed the gnawing line behind. He caught up with a ghoul that stopped in front of him and waited for it. Gobmai was waiting beside the ghoul. Master. Gobmai bowed to Su Wu and handed over the treasures piled in his arms. Su Wu put the things into the slave space. Gobmai used the multiplication skill on the ghoul. With the blessing of 114 times the body size and 4-dimensional attributes, the ghoul turned into a behemoth hundreds of meters high. Its claws can easily pierce the ground and fix itself firmly. Su Wu took Gobmai's hand and climbed onto the ghoul's shoulder. The ghoul roared with joy. He looked at the beetle gnawing line 10 meters away from them. He jumped up. In the blink of an eye, he arrived at the area 100 meters away. Su Wu looked up. I saw the ghouls acting as treasure collectors. They were jumping between each slave. They delivered the collected items to Ahri and Morgana. The two women stored them in the storage rings they were wearing. Su Wu quickly caught up with Ahri. After a check, he found items that can upgrade skills and talents, such as primary skill promotion scrolls and primary talent promotion scrolls, among many treasures. He also found green suits such as the raccoon suit and the thunder suit. There are also items in the primary dungeon, such as the goblin battle axe, chieftain's crown, and goblin's fang. There are also various materials that appear in the dungeon. There are also magic foods sold in the food vending machine, etc. Many props and equipment are 99% primary props. Only magic food, healing medicine and other props can be used after the second transfer. Among them, Su Wu thinks that the biggest gain belongs to the attribute gem. Attribute orb, purple, get 1000 free attribute points after use. Note that this orb can only be used in the trial space. It is a special treasure in the trial space and cannot be taken away. What a pity, he sighed. If this thing can be taken out, he will leave it all to his younger sister and parents. Now he can only use it himself. That's it. Su Wu rode on the ghoul and climbed the last level of the International Life and Death Trial as if walking on flat ground. Soon, the 10th day arrived. Su Wu basically looted most of the props. He obtained 100 attribute orbs. Free attribute points increased to 600,000 points. Except for scrolls and suits, other treasures. He asked Hal in the slave space to exchange all useless equipment and other materials. During this period, Hal exchanged 1,000 skeleton longbowmen again. Su Wu looked up. The slope has now reached 95 degrees. If the other 4 trial slaves had not been helped by the ghouls arranged by Su Wu, they would have fallen into the darkness long ago. More than 20 hours passed. Beep. A reminder shocked Su Wu's spirit. You are about to leave the 3rd level. Please wait for other trial slaves after leaving. No fighting during the waiting period. Along with this reminder, a ray of skylight appeared in the area more than 1,000 meters in front of Su Wu. Under the skylight, a gorgeous platform with handrails came into view. Su Wu could only see the ladder at the bottom of the platform. He lowered his head and looked down. The dark devouring frenzy was about 3 kilometers away from him. When he reached the bottom, he took back all the slaves including Ahri into the slave space. Then he climbed up the ladder step by step. Click. Buzz. When Su Wu climbed onto the platform, a crisp sound came. I saw. A golden glowing list was erected on the platform. On the list, International Life and Death Trial Ranking. First place, Su Wu, 6.72 million points. Second place, Guda Takeshi, 239,011 points. Third place, Sergei, 226,901 points. Fourth place, Aziz, 220,400 points. Fifth place, Fujikawa Shizu, 219,081 points. Soon, other players also arrived at the platform safely. At this time, the list changed. A prompt appeared in front of Su Wu. Congratulations on entering the trial exchange stage. You have one and only one chance to exchange. The exchange will use the trial points. The exchange stage does not affect the ranking of the list and the points data. Looking at the prompt in front of him, on the magic screen in Su Wu's sight, a menu appeared. The menu includes props, equipment, materials, talent advancement, skill refining. A total of 5 choices. The item menu mostly contains some primary skill promotion scrolls, primary talent promotion scrolls, magic food, pill recipes, forging recipes, etc. Materials are seeds and materials of various monsters. There are some precious seeds such as Kizai gourd seeds, Shantian gourd seeds and monster seeds. Most of the equipment is primary equipment, and there are also professional sets used in the second transformation stage. Talent advancement can improve the rank of talent. Skill refinement is to reset the skills and refine the attributes of the skills. Su Wu's eyes fell on the talent upgrade option. Please choose the talent you want to advance. 1. SSS level freezing. 2. SSS level resurrection. 3. S level talent skill growth gain. 3. Su Wu made a choice. You need to spend 500,000 points to upgrade this talent to SS level. You need to spend 1 million points to upgrade Wang Haojiao to SSS level. You need to spend 2 million points to upgrade to SSSS level. You need to spend 5 million points to upgrade to SSSSS level. Note: after the talent level is upgraded, the level of this talent will be reset to 0. Looking at the prompt in front of him, Su Wu resolutely chose the highest level. Buzz. Skill growth gain talent upgraded to SSSSS level. Su Wu looked at this talent immediately. Skill growth gain. SSSSS level. The data growth value of all talents and skills is 10 times the original basis. Note that this talent is not within the blessing range. It is stronger than before. Before, Only skills could be upgraded. Now talents are upgraded together. This is simply against the sky. In this case, the king seal of servant and the slave gain will grow 10 times. So cool. Su Wu laughed. He took out the primary talent promotion scroll and started to promote his talent for skill growth. Buzz. Su Wu stopped his promotion. The skill growth gain talent was promoted to level 10. Skill growth gain level 10 SSSSS-Level. The data growth value of all talents and skills is 100 times the original basis. Note that this talent is not within the scope of blessing. He looked at the exchange store and found that the store had been banned. He still had more than 1 million points that he had not used. This made him feel a little regretful. He looked up at the other slaves. The slaves did not dare to make a choice. All were waiting for Su Wu. Su Wu walked towards the crowd. These guys had too low points and there were not many things they could sell. In the end, Su Wu asked Gang Tianwu and the other 4 to buy a fertilizer formula that could be used for mythical seeds, rice field fertilizer. In addition, 4 longevity pills were purchased. Longevity pill, S-Level, life type pill, which can increase life by 100 years after use. Each person can only use 10 pills in his lifetime. Su Wu ate one without hesitation. Buzz. In the blink of an eye, a data appeared on his panel. Lifespan, 180 years. So if I didn't use this pill, I could live to 80 years old, and now I can live to 180 years old. Su Wu's eyes lit up, and a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. He glanced at the other 3 pills and put them into the slave space. These 3 pills were prepared for his parents and younger sister. After all 250 trialists completed the exchange, a portal appeared in front of Su Wu and other trialists. Su Wu's portal was purple gold, Gotada Takeshi's portal was purple, Sergei's portal was gold, Aziz's was silver, and Fujikawa Shizuka's was bronze. The trial copy is equipped with portals with different rules according to different levels. This indicates the areas they entered were also different. Su Wu walked in first. Buzz. In the blink of an eye, he came to a hot spring pool with a diameter of about 100 meters and a misty fog. There was a stone tablet next to him. The stone tablet read, Transmutation Pool. 3 large characters in regular script. There was also an explanation next to it. Any professional and his summoned creature can use this metamorphosis pool to transform from a shitfish into a dragon. Increase the average 4-dimensional attribute of the professional by 10 points per second, and increase the average 4-dimensional attribute of the summoned creature by 1 point per second. This metamorphosis pool can accommodate up to 100 lives, and can stay for up to 10,800 seconds. This metamorphosis pool starts counting down from entering. 100 lives. That is to say, I can soak for up to 3 hours, and the average 4-dimensional attribute can get 108,000 points. And my summoned creature can only get 10,800 points. Su Wu muttered softly. Such growth can be described as negligible for the slaves under his command. At this moment, he first summoned out 98 professionals from the Shengxia Empire who were in a dream. As for the treatment of these professionals, he had no idea of releasing them. These people come from all over the place. 1/3 are myth professions. 2/3 are legendary professions. Regardless of whether these people can enter Shengxia Academy in the future, they will definitely enter key universities in the future. For Su Wu, this is a network of relationships that cannot be underestimated. Then, he summoned Ahri and, through Ahri's control, led everyone into the transformation pool. Buzz. Transformation pool countdown begins. 10,799 seconds remaining. At the same time, you get 10 average 4-dimensional attribute points. You get 10 average 4-dimensional attribute points. At this moment, Su Wu's strength, agility, spirit, and physique are increasing at a rate of 10 points per second. No wonder it's called the transformation pool. He whispered softly. The attribute points of this transformation pool, combined with the attribute points obtained in the trial copy. After all of them are applied to the 4-dimensional attributes. Professionals who participate in the trial and survive will leave behind professionals who have not participated in this trial, even if they are at the same level and have the same professional skills. The opponent is far from being the opponent of the trialists, and the different achievements of the trialists will create strong people of different strengths. Like Su Wu, a trialist who can get all the rewards. In the 78 years of trials on Blue Star, there is only one. And only he knows how to get the most benefits. This will be a huge fortune for him and the people of Shengxia. No wonder Shengxia Academy is known as the strongest academy. Most of the students in the academy are professionals who have returned from the trial. If it is not the strongest, then no academy can be called the strongest. Buzz. Su Wu used the support attribute of the summoning skill to summon Tang Tianbao, who was resting in Shengxia Academy, to the transformation pool. After seeing the scene in front of him, Tang Tianbao knelt down and kowtowed, "Meet the master." "Well, don't waste time, you only have 5 minutes," Su Wu said to Tang Tianbao. Tang Tianbao hurriedly sat down. Su Wu asked Tang Tianbao, "How is Shengxia Academy?" This is the most mysterious academy in Shengxia Empire. When he was in high school, the teacher only talked about the situation of key academies. He knew nothing about Shengxia Academy. Tang Tianbao said solemnly, "The academy will give different tasks to professionals according to different departments and professions, so that we can compete with professionals from all over the world by brushing dungeons or trials to earn contribution points. There are very few things to learn here, and almost all of my time is spent on leveling up and training. All expenses in the academy are mainly based on contribution points. You can buy almost everything there, and you can also spend contribution points to invite master-level auxiliary professionals to help you build equipment. At the same time, some students in the academy also have their own independent trading channels, which allow gold coins and contribution points as 2 currencies. That's right, there are 6 paths for students in the academy. The first path is to enter the imperial military and become a professional soldier. The military's activities are mainly in the battlefield outside the domain, with the best benefits and the highest treatment. The second path is to enter other institutions of the empire and become an imperial official. Professionals from different countries, they can do different jobs according to different organizations, with stable treatment, and the empire will provide a guarantee. Family members and relatives can enjoy certain assistance. Quote, "The third way is to become a professional employee of the empire company. This way is mainly to colonize and develop other worlds. The more you do, the better the treatment you get. The fourth way is to enter the laboratory, which is divided into 2 types, experimental personnel and test subjects. The treatment is unknown. I heard that the professionals on this path are a little crazy. The fifth way is to join the Divine Guard and become a member of Lord Wuhu's command. The main task is to cooperate with professionals from other countries. Unlike the army, professionals on this path have 2 salaries, one from the Blue Star Professional Joint Committee and one from the Empire. The 6th way is to enter the professional guild and become an adventurer or mercenary. You mainly rely on taking guild tasks to make a living. How much you can get depends on your ability. Many professionals with poor strength will choose one path. Quote, "Master, I will apply to join the Imperial Army in a month. Our Tang family has already chosen a path for me," Tang Tianbao explained solemnly. Su Wu nodded after listening. He had a general understanding of Shengxia Academy. Time flies. 5 minutes passed in a flash. Tang Tianbao's support time was reset to 0, and he teleported back to his original position. Su Wu closed his eyes and stayed in the transformation pool for 3 hours. Buzz, you have successfully completed the life and death trial mission. In 10 seconds, you will be teleported out of the trial copy. Looking at the prompt in front of him, Su Wu's eyes flashed with excitement. He raised his hand and grabbed. All 98 slaves in the transformation pool were transferred back to the slave space. Moon, Blue Star Professional Joint Committee Base. The foot basin is in a separate trial room. Buzz. 2 rays of light flashed in the room one after another. Gotada Takeshi and Fujikawa Shizu appeared in the room. The 2 looked at each other first. They looked at the professional in heavy armor in front of them in surprise, and were stunned at first. Then they asked in unison, "Master Marui, where is General Minamoto Yoshikuma?" Marui is a member of the Joint Committee. He looked at the 2 people in shock and said, "General Minamoto Yoshikuma was secretly escorted to the 5 kingdoms by the people of the kingdom because of the trial. Let me ask you a question. Did you do the sudden death of the trialists from other countries during the trial?" Commissioner Marui asked solemnly. Takeshi Guda and Shizu Fujikawa shook their heads blankly and asked in unison, "What happened?" Don't mind it. You two put on standard armor and follow me. I applied for a special transmission channel for you, so you can go directly back to the mainland without going through the transmission center hall on the moon. Marui nodded and took out 2 sets of equipment for the two. At the same time, in the independent trial room of the Divine Bear Empire, Sergei teleported back from the trial. He accepted the same question. But he was not sent back, but followed the commissioner of the Divine Bear Empire to the trial hall. Buzz. In the independent trial room of the Divine Shaw Empire, Su Wu teleported back from the dungeon. He glanced at the room in front of him and looked up at Wu Yu, who was full of doubts. I know what you want, but this is not the place to talk. Su Wu smiled slightly. This smile made Wu Yu breathe a sigh of relief. Good boy. Wu Yu nodded. Let's go. Go to the hall to receive the award first. Soon, the two came to the trial list hall. Su Wu's arrival attracted everyone's attention. People from countries such as Shenshong, Camel, and Persia kept coming to Su Wu greeted. The people from Ugly Country, Banxi, Foot Basin and other countries had cold eyes. Soon, the 3rd and 4th place winners, Sergei and Aziz, walked into the hall. After everyone stood still, the representative of Foot Basin stood up. Everyone. Our trialists just left the base through a special transmission channel. Sorry. He looked at Wu Yu. Wu Yu frowned and said solemnly, according to the rules of the base, if the trialists leave the base before the trial process is completed, it will be regarded as giving up the reward of this trial. Are you sure? Sorry. No, my lord. Is there such a rule? We didn't know. The people from Foot Basin were stunned and immediately regretted it. Wu Yu snorted coldly and said, No, I'm sorry. Buzz. The list on the secondary magic screen in the trial hall was replaced by the rules. The people in the Foot Basin were very upset when they saw the rules. He was stunned for a few seconds, and then he said weakly, What a pity. This caused a burst of laughter from the people around him. Everyone knew what the Foot Basin was thinking. Less of the Ugly Country frowned and glared at the representative of the Foot Basin, and warned in a low voice, I tell you. No matter where the two of them escape to, they must go to the headquarters of the Ugly Country in the end. Otherwise, you can wait for the explosion of the mainland. After hearing this, the representative of the Foot Basin suddenly changed his face, and hurriedly walked outside, took out the special communication equipment to contact the mainland urgently. This side, Wu Yu said some encouraging words to Su Wu and others on behalf of Lan Xing. This allowed Su Wu and the other two to stand on the podium. Buzz. In an instant, 3 beams of light appeared in front of the 3 people. A beautifully carved storage ring appeared in the golden beam of light in front of Su Wu. Sergei's light column is a bronze light column and Aziz's is a black iron light column. Suspended in the 2 people's light columns were bronze and black iron rings without any carvings. This scene made the joy of the 2 freeze on their faces, and their mood suddenly became extremely low. Su Wu picked up the ring. He took a closer look. He was overjoyed. The space inside was about 1 kilometer in diameter. It was a lake. On the small boat in the center of the lake, there was a set of second-turn professional suits exclusively for slave masters, and a SSSSS-Level exclusive professional random talent extraction treasure box. He retracted his gaze and looked at the ring through the detection technique. Phoenix Lake Treasure Ring. Orange only, space diameter, 1 kilometer, attribute, fishing resource space, exclusive fishing resource, anchovies. At this time, Wu Yu looked at Su Wu and the other two. On behalf of the Blue Star Professional Joint Committee, I will reward Su Wu, the first place in this trial, with 10 billion gold coins, 100 million contribution points, 50 primary talent upgrade scrolls, and 50 intermediate talent upgrade scrolls. As soon as the reward came out this time, the eyes of each committee member below were red. Everyone was envious and jealous. They wanted their eyes to pop out. But no one raised any objections. Because this was a joint decision of the committee. Then, the vice chairman and the committee members awarded Sergei and Aziz respectively. Among them, Sergei received 1 billion gold coins, 20 million contribution points, and 10 scrolls of primary talent promotion. Aziz only received 500 million gold coins and 5 million contribution points. Because Zhaobin was too smart and was afraid that Gangtian Wu and the other two would have an accident, Yao and the other two closed the deal in advance. As a result, the rewards belonging to the two were automatically cancelled. Not long after, Su Wu followed Wu Yu to the chairman's office. Wu Yu introduced to Su Wu, "The reward on the podium is the reward given by our Blue Star Occupation Committee, that is, this base, to our Blue Star Rising Stars. The reward I give you is the resources taken from the shared library of all members of the committee." After that, he handed a special rune to Su Wu. "This is the highest level emergency teleportation rune. Master Wu, is our base a rule building?" Su Wu realized that the lunar base he was in should be a rule building. Wu Yu nodded and smiled. "Of course. This is a world-class rule building. If you want to materialize it and use its functions, you must complete the corresponding tasks. Otherwise, there will be no such organization as the Joint Committee on Blue Star now." Everyone worked together to develop this building, using the convenient cross-border teleportation function of this building, the ability to quickly support the frontline battlefield, and the reward mechanism of this building. This also includes the blessing of this building in terms of rules for the defense of my Blue Star. You can say that the committee base is the most powerful shield on Blue Star. After a brief exchange, Su Wu, accompanied by Wu Yu, leaving the office of the chairman of the Moon Committee through the teleportation rune. Wu Yu sent Su Wu directly back to the imperial capital of the Shengxia Empire. "What is this?" Su Wu quickly adapted to the discomfort caused by the teleportation. He looked up and looked around. He found that he was in a secret room. It was not the cross-border teleportation array when he came here. Wu Yu smiled and said, "This is the underground base of our Empire Special Talent Service Center." After a brief explanation, Wu Yu said to Su Wu, "Now you can talk." "Wait, I'll give them back to you first." As he said that, Su Wu summoned all 98 professionals from the Shengxia Empire who participated in the second-level trial in the slave space. These professionals were still in a dream state. "What is this?" Wu Yu trembled when he saw this, and his hands clenched together. His expression became extremely serious. The excitement made his face twitch constantly. He looked carefully at the people in front of him, and when he confirmed that everyone was still alive, he looked at Su Wu fiercely. "What is this?" "To protect their safety and to prevent others from suspecting me." Su Wu smiled and gave the answer. "So, after confusing our people with the nine-tailed fox, I sent all of them into my summoning space. For them, I released 100 capable people. Otherwise, I wouldn't have worked so hard to get the first place." This made Wu Yu's mouth twitch. "You are still working hard. You are almost envying those foreigners to death. Those guys are now eager to catch you and slice you for research. You are still working hard. I am the one who is working hard, okay. You know that in order to make you return safely, I spent a full 1 billion contribution points, mobilizing more than 200,000 people in the Empire just to ensure the safety of you and your family." Wu Yu just thought about it, and he said to Su Wu solemnly, "These people cannot show up yet, otherwise they will arouse suspicion from others. We are not afraid of threats, but we are afraid that you will die young. Then do you want to treat me as a flower in a greenhouse?" Su Wu probed. 093. This is related to his future. If that is the case, he will definitely find a way to get out. Wu Yu laughed and shook his head and said, "It would be a waste of talent to put a talent like you in a greenhouse." Su Wu then took out a notebook. The notebook has more than 30 pages in total. It involves everything about the Blue Star life and death trial, including the characteristics of the fire spirit, how to kill the fiery evil fox, how to fight the iron pig. It also includes how to get the highest reward. Most of them are compiled by Ahri. Some are Su Wu corrected and drew. This guidebook, it will allow the Shengxia Empire to dominate the world in the future. The high rewards for dominating the life and death trial. Okay, what do you want? As long as you can say it, I will immediately agree to it. Wu Yu took the notes in doubt. He took a look at it and his mind was immediately attracted. Then, he couldn't help but widen his eyes and exclaimed, "Can it be like this? This is also a boss. The danger of the second level actually comes from it. Incredible, it's incredible." Su Wu, at this point, he suddenly straightened his clothes. Then, he respectfully bowed to Su Wu. "Thank you on behalf of the Empire. Not free. You have to give me 2 promotion props that can upgrade SSS level talents to SSSSS level talents." Su Wu accepted the gift as a matter of course, and he said with a smile. He didn't know if there was such a prop. But this was indeed what he wanted. Wu Yu's pupils shrank after hearing this, and he nodded and said, "We do have this prop in our imperial treasury. Don't worry, I will definitely get it for you if you need it." Next, Wu Yu personally took Su Wu visited the headquarters of the entire Empire Special Talent Service Center. There are 3 floors in the underground base here. The 3rd floor is the Mission Intelligence Department, which mainly arranges network tasks and intelligence through the Chenkin network for the copy intelligence provided by the team under its command and other intelligence provided by the Empire. The 2nd floor is the Strategy Center, where more than 200 different professionals form a large team, mainly providing corresponding strategies and plans for professionals and other worlds. The 1st floor is the Transmission Transfer Station. There are a total of 6 floors on the ground. These 6 floors are divided into reception rooms, leisure areas, and office areas, etc. The service center is located on a busy street in the capital of the empire. The business open to the public is to select specialized professionals suitable for various departments from many self-recommendation letters for the empire through the self-recommendation of professionals, and recommend them to various institutions in the empire. The appearance of Su Wu aroused suspicion among many people in the center. After seeing Wu Yu personally accompanying him, everyone showed great enthusiasm and respect for Su Wu. After completing the visit, Wu Yu arranged for Su Wu to live in his villa. "Xiaoqi, this is your uncle Su Wu. He is staying at our house today, please make some arrangements." Wu Yu introduced his daughter Wu Qiqi to Su Wu. He then hurried to the elders' council with his things. Wu Qiqi was wearing a black training uniform and holding a towel in her hand. She had just walked out of the training room in the basement. "Welcome, classmate Su." Wu Qiqi smiled awkwardly, and she took the weighted vest and weighted leggings on her body. Boom! The weighted vest fell to the ground, and the ground shook 3 times. The muscles on her arm that picked up the weighted leggings bulged. The lines of her body were filled with a kind of robust beauty. Her eyes were bright and full of a sharp light. This was the murderous intent accumulated from years of fighting. Su Wu nodded, and he looked at the floor of the living room. He saw that this floor was a special crystal floor. It was hit by such a heavy object, but there was no crack or breakage at all. Soon, Su Wu made a judgment. This is not something from Blue Star. The furnishings in the living room tend to be in the ancient style of the old era of the Shengxia Empire. Wu Qiqi chatted with Su Wu for a few words, and took Su Wu to the guest room at the back. The guest room is located in the wing room in the backyard of the small building. "I still have a training plan. I won't talk about it. There's no food at home. If you want to eat, you need to go to the canteen next door. You can eat there or bring it back. It's free." After Wu Qiqi explained a few words to Su Wu, she left. Su Wu sat on the big bed in the room, looking at the bright garden outside the window. He entered the task module of Chenkin Network, .0. Sure enough, it's all recorded. Su Wu smiled after seeing the task. There are a total of 67 targets on the list. Now these targets have been successfully hunted. He chose to settle. Task completed. You have received a total of 6.7 billion gold coins and 100 million Qinfang contribution points. Settlement in progress. Settlement completed. The reward has been remitted to your online account. Su Wu turned the page and looked at his account. Name: Su Wu. Identity: Deputy Commander of the Imperial Special Talent Service Center, part-time Deputy Captain of the Academy Team. Account: 19.037 billion gold coins, Huangxian points, daily 31 million. Okay. In addition to this money, Su Wu also has 180,040,342 million gold coins in cash. These gold coins were piled up in the slave space. He entered the mall of Chenkin Network. He searched for materials inside. The rice field fertilizer purchased in this trial requires the feces of 300 species of creatures and some special biological bacteria feed as a basis for mixing. This also requires some magic props and equipment for making fertilizers. He quickly found a suitable fertilizer making instrument. This is a new type of equipment that uses mechanical transmission, magic array blending, fermentation, acceleration, and magic puppets to assist in feeding and transportation. The latest agricultural model of the Empire's biological fertilizer-making instrument is only 1 billion gold coins. The products of Chenkin network are really cheap. If it were outside, it would cost at least 10 billion gold coins to buy it. He chose to buy it directly in the mall. After 1 billion gold coins were paid. Do you want to receive the transmission now? Please project the transmission mark to the target location. The Sky Bow 2 fertilizer making instrument transmitted this time. Store 3.1 into the one-time containment symbol. After receiving the containment symbol, please check first. Looking at the prompt in front of him, Su Wu projected a rune projected from the Chenkin network onto the table in the room. Buzz. A slight fluctuation came from the space. A yellow symbol appeared on the table. Su Wu checked it as required. He then took the yellow symbol and walked into the slave space. Clang. He took the Sky Bow 2 fertilizer making instrument out of the yellow symbol. Boom. A biological fertilizer making instrument that includes material storage, material transportation, fertilizer blending, fermentation, and testing appeared in front of Su Wu. This fertilizer instrument covers an area of more than 1,000 square meters. Mainly, the material pipe and fermentation tank occupy the main space. At the same time, there are 20 magic puppets. The instruction manual is 10 centimeters thick. Su Wu handed the instruction manual to Morgana. Gobmai. Arrange for the Goblin Queen to familiarize herself with this instrument. Yes, Master. Gobume took the manual and read it carefully. After understanding it, he called Queen Gobume and awakened the puppet. Master, if we want this instrument to work, we have to buy magic crystals. Gobume found Su Wu. Su Wu nodded. He was trying to enter the Chenkin network. He found that the Chenkin network was disconnected in the slave space. There was no way. He could only go back outside. Magic crystals are the renewable energy currently used by the Empire. More than 70 years ago, it completely replaced nuclear energy and became the main energy source for the mechanical energy of the Xinjiang Empire. In normal stores, this kind of magic crystal has a storage capacity of 10 rings of magic energy and is sold for 10 million gold coins. Ring is the basic unit of magic energy. 1 ring of magic energy is equivalent to 1 year of normal civilian electricity in a city with a population of 1 million in the old times. Since magic arrays and various magic props have become the mainstream of the times, they consume a lot of magic energy. 1 ring of magic energy is only enough for 100,000 people to use for 1 month. The reserves of commercial magic crystals are larger than those of civilian magic crystals, the storage medium is better, and the price is 30% more expensive. 10 million gold coins are the result of the intervention of the Empire. In the Chenkin network, 1 commercial magic crystal only costs 1 million gold coins. This is 10 times lower than the market price. But there is one thing. If you want to buy this kind of magic crystal at the factory price, you must sign a self-use agreement. That is, after buying this kind of thing, you can only use it yourself and cannot sell it to others. If you want the Sky Bow to operate, you need 12 commercial magic crystals. This can only make it operate for 1 month. Su Wu simply calculated. He decided to buy 10 years of commercial magic crystals. That is, 1,440 commercial magic crystals. This will cost 1.44 billion gold coins. Soon, Su Wu received the magic crystals, and he sent the magic crystals into the slave space. He then immediately bought the feces of various animals as the main raw material for biological feed, as well as basic fertilizer. After a comparison, he had a total of 7.054 billion gold coins, plus 100 million contribution points. This was enough to buy enough rice fertilizer to supply 2,600 kilometers of land in the slave space for 10 years. After completing the fertilizer business, Su Wu took out the Phoenix Lake treasure ring that was awarded this time. He first used the SSSSS-Level exclusive professional random talent to draw treasure chests. Ding! Congratulations on winning the SSSSS-Level exclusive professional talent, Communication. Communication. SSSSS-Level. No matter how far apart you are from the slaves, no matter if there is interference and rule restrictions, you can communicate and communicate in real time. Cannot be upgraded. Su Wu's eyes moved after seeing this, another passive talent of the same type as damage transfer. Seeing this, he tried to activate the talent. At this moment, he seemed to see a starry sky. Names appeared one after another on the stars in the starry sky. When he pointed his eyes at Gotada Takeshi, buzz. The space shook slightly, as if a call vibrated. The next second, Gotada Takeshi's voice sounded, "Great Master. It's great to be able to contact you. Woo, woo, woo. What's the situation over there?" Su-woo was overjoyed when he heard it and asked hurriedly. He and Gotada Takeshi agreed that at 12 o'clock in the middle of the night 3 days later, he would use the support feature to remotely summon Gotada Takeshi to his side. Now he has the talent for communication. He can grasp the information of Gotada Takeshi and others in real time. This is beneficial to the implementation of his plan. Gotada Takeshi said seriously, "Master, the top leaders of the Foot Basin are under pressure from the ugly country and want to hand me over to the ugly country. Now I am on my way to the ugly country base in Farong Peak and am expected to arrive tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I and Fujikawa Shizuka have been tested by the Foot Basin for about 30 items, even memory reading, and the other party did not find any abnormalities. Now Fujikawa Shizu has gone to the castle where the royal family is to rest." He briefly recounted what happened there. Su-woo nodded after listening, and ended the call with Gotada Takeshi. He communicated with other professional slaves. Sergei and Aziz also accepted the memory reading investigation. They have just been freed from the state of imprisonment. It will take some time to return to their workplace. Professionals such as Jonghi who Su-woo transferred out were arranged to go to different alien worlds. There are also branch colleges of Shengxia Academy in these alien worlds. It can be regarded as entering Shengxia Academy. After understanding the situation, Su-woo ended the communication. "In this way, I can control the status of each slave professional in real time and obtain first-hand information." After that, when he checked the second-level suit, Wu Yu had just returned to the villa. More than 4 hours had passed at this time. He went straight to the wing room. "Su-woo, this is what you asked for. In addition, the Empire also gave you an extremely rare special equipment," said. He handed a storage ring to Su-woo. After completing the main purpose, he glanced around and frowned and asked, "Have you been here all the time?" Su-woo nodded. Wu Yu asked again, "Have you eaten? Have you had tea?" Su-woo smiled faintly. "I'm not hungry. I'm not thirsty. No need to bother." Wu Yu was furious. "Wu Chi-chi, is this how you entertain my guests?" He turned and went to the front. Su-woo saw this and ran over in a hurry. Snap, snap, snap. After a while, Wu Yu actually picked up Wu Chi-chi and spanked her with a belt. I was wrong. Dad, give me some face. I worked so hard to train my buttocks. Ah, ouch." Wu Yu hit him hard as Wu Chi-chi yelled. Su-woo was stunned. After Wu Yu taught his daughter a lesson, he took Su-woo outside. "Brother, I tell you, in this imperial capital, the best restaurants are not those 657 famous hotels, but the fly restaurants," he said. He took Su-woo to a restaurant in a villa. This meal cost 100 million gold coins. The food was all foreign delicacies that Su-woo had never heard of. After dinner, Wu Yu took Su-woo back home. The two had just entered the door. Wu Chi-chi hurried over with slippers. "Dad, Uncle." Then, she was busy helping to make tea, pour water and get snacks. Su-woo was not comfortable with being called that, and hurriedly said, "I think we are similar. You can just call me brother." After hearing this, Wu Chi-chi laughed. "Uncle Su, I call you uncle because of seniority. But I am already 60 years old." Quote. Su-woo was stunned. He could not help but think of Wu Yu's age. He was ashamed at the moment. There was no way to combine such a young Wu Chi-chi with a 60-year-old white-haired grandmother. After hearing this, Wu Yu laughed. "Brother, don't worry about her. Her real age is indeed 60 years old, but her mental age is only 18 years old. My child has been mentally retarded since childhood, and she is still ignorant in her 40s. Later, I spent a lot of money to find the Kiwei Shendon, which made her become like a normal person. Before, she often wet the bed." Crash. Wu Chi-chi's old face turned red, glared at Wu Yu, turned around and ran upstairs. "Humph. I won't pay attention to you." Su-woo chatted with Wu Yu until midnight. Then he returned to the wing room to rest. In the wing room, Su-woo entered the slave space. He opened the ring Wu Yu gave him. There were 2 scrolls in the ring that emitted purple-red gem light. SSSSS-Level Talent Promotion Scroll. After use, the lowest SS-Level talent can be promoted to SSSSS-Level. Specialty of Ling Xiao copy. Su Wu's eyelids jumped after reading it. He first used these 2 promotion scrolls to upgrade the freezing and resurrection talents to SSSSS-Level. Freezing. SSSSS-Level. Within 50 meters, all forces or targets attacking you will be frozen. Freezing state. Unable to move, attack ineffective. Duration 1 minute. Passive trigger. Resurrection. SSSSS-Level. Every 24 hours, you have the opportunity to instantly revive in full state without carrying any personal belongings at the anchor coordinates or the place of death. Within 3 seconds after resurrection, you will be invincible. Sure enough, top talents are awesome. The range of the 10th level freeze is only 55 meters, and the top level 0 is 50 meters. Su Wu was overjoyed after seeing it. Especially the resurrection talent. It made him extremely excited. This is really cool. He then used the primary talent promotion scroll to upgrade the 2 talents to the full level 10. During the upgrade, the 2 talents received a 100 times growth value blessing of the skill growth gain. The 10th level talent actually produced an extremely terrifying effect. The range of the freeze reached 20,005 meters, and the duration was 1,001 minutes. This is simply terrifying to the extreme. If it is on the battlefield, Su Wu can use this talent to instantly freeze all enemies within a range of 20,000 meters. And the duration is up to 16 hours. This completely unreasonable talent. It is enough to determine the outcome of a large-scale war. The resurrection talent is even more terrifying. It is blessed with 100 times the skill growth gain. He actually got the chance to instantly revive 2001 times in 24 hours. What the hell does it take to die more than 2000 times in 24 hours? It's simply not enough. What's more, it also comes with an invincible state of 1003 seconds after resurrection. 16 minutes of invincibility. With this state, what monster can't he kill? Cool. It's really cool. Su Wu clenched his fists and laughed. This promotion is really extraordinary. He then took out another item from the ring. This item is a mask that feels cool and very soft. Su Wu used detection on it. 1000 faces. Red mythical level. Spirit plus 100,000 points. Skill. 1000 faces. You can change into the appearance of anyone you have seen, or pinch your own face. Passive skill. Breath. After the appearance changes, your breath changes accordingly and is consistent with the target's breath, or you can choose it yourself. Passive skill. Bone change. After your appearance and aura change, your bones will also change accordingly, and match the target's body and bones and even bone age, or you can adjust it yourself. Passive skill. Crossdress. After your bones change, your equipment will change to match the target. Or you can choose it yourself. Passive rule. Undetectable. This equipment is a red mythical rule equipment, and your disguise cannot be seen through by any rule detection skills, talents, props, etc. This is too precious. Su Wu looked at the mask in front of him with a hint of disbelief in his eyes. Such equipment is absolutely priceless. If used for lurking and hiding, the benefits will be limitless. But Wu Yu gave him this mask. All this is for his safety. Immediately, Su Wu put the mask on his face. Buzz. In the blink of an eye, he saw a choice. Pinch face keep as it is automatically change the memory target he chose to pinch face. This is very similar to the game he played in his previous life. But the operation is more subtle, and even the number, length and growth of eyebrows can be adjusted. After some operation, Su Wu chose to keep it as it is. The 1000-faced mask did not fall off. It was tightly but comfortably attached to the face. Su Wu tried to wash his face. He found that he could wash his face even through the 1000-faced mask. If he didn't want to, this mask would not show a specific appearance at all. It was like growing on Su Wu's flesh. This is a good tool. Su Wu muttered softly, after he sacrificed the storage ring to the slave space. He took out the Phoenix Lake treasure ring. He also sacrificed this ring to the slave space. Buzz. In an instant, the slave space had an extra 2 kilometers in diameter. At the edge of the jungle, a lake with a diameter of about 1 kilometer appeared. When Su Wu entered the slave space, Ahri and the others were gathered by the lake. Morgana used her normal attack to fish out a fish from the lake. Go. Anchovies. This is a rare catch. You can get 10 points of luck after eating it. Ahri and the others couldn't help but exclaimed. This is a unique ingredient. After Su Wu arrived, they first greeted him. Then, Su Wu looked at the anchovies presented by Morgana. The fish tail was like a phoenix tail, with a trace of flame. When the anchovies roamed in the lake, the phoenix lake emitted by the anchovies looked unusually beautiful and dazzling. He used the detection technique on the anchovies. Anchovies. S-level catch. After using, you can get 10 points of permanent luck. Each professional can get up to 100 points of permanent luck through anchovies. Top-grade ingredients, delicious meat, can reduce fire, clear the mind, and drive away evil thoughts and pollution. Top-grade ingredients that increase luck. Su Wu was overjoyed after seeing it. This thing is really a treasure. You know, the equipment of the first-turn professional only has the blessing of basic attributes. The most rare and precious equipment of the second-turn professional is the lucky equipment. Once this equipment appears, it will be snatched up immediately. The luck point of this equipment is basically 1. Equipment with a luck value of 10 points only appears in the equipment of the third-turn professional. According to the information Su Wu has, he has not seen any ingredients, elixirs or special props that can permanently increase the professional. 10 points of luck can make Su Wu a gambling saint. With 100 points of luck, he is a gambling god who can manipulate all probabilities. Whether it is opening a probability treasure chest or going to a probability dungeon, he will be invincible. Of course, when going to a dungeon, he can basically ignore any probability issues. Su Wu immediately asked Morgana to catch 9 anchovies. Then he arranged for Ahri to cook them. After eating them, Su Wu's stomach swelled up. 10 anchovies almost made him vomit. The benefits are also obvious. His luck value appeared on his panel. Luck value, 100 points. Good. Next, take this opportunity to advance to the second-level professional. Said. Su Wu arranged for the slaves to prepare energy stones to activate the small job transfer temple. Buzz. Okay, soon. A light lit up in the job transfer temple. Su Wu walked into the job transfer temple nervously. He came to the temple, on a small altar with a diameter of 3 meters. Buzz. It is detected that you have free attribute points. Please use the free attribute points before performing the job transfer operation. Su Wu's eyes moved when he saw this. He added 600,000 free attribute points to 100,000 four-dimensional attribute points respectively, and added the remaining 200,000 attribute points to 100,000 each for agility and physique. The powerful addition of four-dimensional attributes. Su Wu's body has undergone tremendous changes. He felt like a volcano, full of endless power. The flesh and blood around him seemed to jump at this moment. This state lasted for 30 minutes before it stopped. After the addition of points was completed, the power of the altar started again. A prompt appeared in Su Wu's sight. Buzz. Skin. Do you want to change your job again? Yes. Su Wu made a choice. Buzz. The next second, a light lit up on the altar. Su Wu was enveloped by the light. Buzz. A screen appeared in Su Wu's sight. Only a multiple choice question appeared on the screen. Please choose the direction of the second job transfer. First, life. Second, machinery. Third, elements. Won't you explain it? Su Wu asked tentatively. Life. Transform slaves into life slaves with souls. All skills and talents of slaves can be used temporarily, with slave skills as the main attack skills. Diversified attacks, strange routes, not easy to be targeted. Main physique. After promotion, the physique growth value is 50, strength, agility, and spirit are 10. Mechanical. Transform slaves into puppet-like magical mechanical creations. Can be combined, transformed, and armored with slaves. Focusing on physics, with less investment, you can build a mechanical legion with the highest coordination efficiency. Main strength. After promotion, the strength growth value is 50, agility, spirit and body circumference are 10. Element. Transform slaves into elemental slaves with wisdom. Each slave can learn a magic skill. After learning, the slave can release the skill an unlimited number of times without delay, and the spiritual value consumption is halved. It focuses on magic long-range attacks and requires a large investment. Main spirit. After promotion, the spirit growth value is 50, and the strength, agility and constitution are 10. Look at it this way, the machine is to transform the slaves into magic mechanical puppets. Can it transform into mechanical armor like Transformers, and turn the slaves into my own exoskeleton system? Such slavery. How to play. Make yourself a Fiji outline that can support various functions. How can I tolerate such a thing when my hands are freed? Su Wu muttered softly. Elements are to transform slaves into launchers that can cast magic skills. It seems to be more powerful than the other two, but the direction of the book is skills. More magic skills. The most important thing is that after becoming an element, don't I have to roast chicken? Crap, this word is not written like this. No, life is not happy at all. LSP me. How can I tolerate a life without fun? FFL, beautiful sister, elegant 977 sister and attractive boss. All of them. Click. Su Wu straightened his waist. I choose one. Life. This is my destiny. My destiny. Just as he made his choice. Buzz. Rays of light bloomed from under his feet. The entire job transfer temple lit up with a brilliant light. The colorful light rushed to the sky of the slave space. All of Su Wu's slaves felt a magnificent vitality at this moment. This power came from a distant and unknown time and space, penetrated the endless space and was thrown into the job transfer temple. The moment this power fell, in the air within 10,000 meters around the job transfer temple, colorful lotus flowers bloomed. In the strange landscape, there were also golden lights. The golden light sometimes condensed into seal characters, and sometimes condensed into auspicious patterns. Ahri, who was standing near the job transfer temple, happily held his hands in front of his chest. Oh my God! The master has chosen an extraordinary path. White lotus fell from the sky, and light emerged from the void. Just then, the light in front of Su Wu changed, and a prompt appeared. Please upgrade your professional characteristics. At this stage, the highest professional characteristics can be upgraded to level 5, and each upgrade consumes 1 million experience points. Su Wu found that he could control the upgrade of professional characteristics through his mind. He first upgraded the 100-fold growth to level 5. Buzz. 100-fold growth level 5. Every time you upgrade one level, you will gain 500 times growth. 500 times. Cool. After the second career promotion, the growth value of the professional increased by 10 times. Su Wu's physique has an additional 40 points of growth. In other words, with the increase of this characteristic, he can gain 5,000 points of strength, 5,000 points of agility, 5,000 points of spirit and 2,500 points of physique at each level. This is really cool. Ordinary professionals are upgraded by 10 points at a time. He is upgraded by 500 times. Add the extra attribute points obtained in the previous trial. His base is 600,000 attribute points higher than that of mythical professionals. This gap will only get bigger in the future. Then Su Wu upgraded the hidden feature again. Hide level 5. You can actively hide your career rank, level, job transfer status, attributes and skill information. Before, you could only hide your career. Now it has become more comprehensive. Su Wu muttered softly. He looked at the next feature. Buzz. In the blink of an eye. The support feature was upgraded to level 5 by him. Support level 5. You can use the summoning skill to temporarily summon other slaves who are not around and not in the slave space to your side, or use this skill to support slaves. Support time. BQ minutes. The support time has become longer. That means I can do more things. Su Wu muttered softly, after he completed the promotion of his professional characteristics. A prompt appeared in front of him again. Congratulations on completing the second career change. Please enter the secret realm of life through the job change temple within 12 hours and within 72 hours, take the trial of life slaver, and complete the transformation of professional skills. After success, you will be rewarded with 2 second-level exclusive professional skills and 1 second-level exclusive professional talent. Su Wu's eyes moved after seeing this, and he was about to enter the job transfer temple. He saw, Buzz. The secret realm of life is being generated, and the remaining time is 11 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. No wonder it takes 12 hours to enter. Su Wu muttered softly. He then looked at his panel. Name. Su Wu. Profession. Life Slave Master, the only hidden one. Level 30, 0 200,000ths. Lifespan 180 years. Luck value 100 points. Strength 211,009 plus 700. Agility 311,007 plus 700. Spirit 211,012 plus 100,950. Physique 311,009 plus 1300. Other additional attributes. Block 500. Equipment 1000 faces, golden crow armor, physical belt, imprisonment set, demon necklace. Slave space level 30, 310 620ths, space diameter 2602 kilometers. Nine-tailed fox 1, ghoul 11, shadow assassinate, demon 1, goblin 100, human 103, blazing fox 1, iron pig 49, abyss demon tiger 1, scarab 35. Environment jungle 6 kilometers, Phoenix Lake 1 kilometer. Dab features level 6 resource space double growth. Plants planted in the space grow 10 times faster. Skills slavery level 20, summoning level 20, release level 20, synthesis level 20, displacement level 20. Talent second turn service seal, second turn slave gain, second turn freeze, second turn resurrection, second turn skill growth gain, damage transfer, communication. Professional features 100-fold growth level 5, hiding level 5, support level 5. The level limit has been broken. The slave position of the slave space has increased by 1 times. Su Wu muttered softly, the skills have not changed, but the talents have been transformed into second turn talents. It seems that if you want to change and break the restrictions, you must enter the secret realm of life to complete the trial. He first looked at the talents. Second turn King Seal 0/20th million SSSSS-Level. Your slavery skill has a 100% success rate and 0 consumption. Life conversion. The slaves who have been successfully enslaved by you will automatically be converted into life-type slaves. Dedication. The converted slaves will dedicate 24 times the experience, 24 times the props or 24 times the materials to you. Second turn slave gain 0/20th million SSSSS-Level. The life you enslave can be upgraded by devouring special materials and gain 24 times the attributes and skill gains. Life. Permanent slaves can reproduce in the slave space. Each new life in the space will increase 10 slave positions and L points of advanced value. Resurrection. Slaves who are permanently in the slave space will have 18 opportunities to revive in the slave space, and each resurrection consumes 100 spirit points. Note: slavery that has been permanently solidified will never be freed. The new life that is bred will automatically become your slave and occupy 1 slave position. Second turn freezing 0/20th million SSSSS-Level. Within a range of 40,100 meters, all forces or targets that attack you will be frozen. Frozen state. Unable to move, attack ineffective, target continues to lose 100 points of physical fitness per second, and when the physical fitness is 0, the target dies. Duration 2002 minutes. Passive trigger. Second turn resurrection 0/20th million SSSSS-Level. 4002 times every 24 hours, within 2006 seconds after resurrection, gain invincibility. Second turn skill growth gain 0/20th million SSSSS-Level. The data growth value of all talents and skills is 200 times the original basis. Note that this talent is not within the blessing range. Closing parenthesis. After the second transformation, all the talent data that can be upgraded have been increased by 1 times, and the upgrade method has been changed to experience value upgrade. The slave's gain has changed. Ice is not only control, but also has damage. Su Wu's eyes jumped slightly after seeing it. He hurriedly took out the intermediate talent upgrade scroll and looked at it carefully. Intermediate talent upgrade scroll. Provide 1 million upgrade experience for the specified talent. Only limited to talents of the second transformation or above. Each talent can use up to 10 scrolls. Looking at the explanation of the talent scroll, Su Wu slapped his forehead. 50 scrolls are only enough for 5 talents to get an average of 10 million experience points. This may be enough for other ordinary talents to reach the top level, but for SSSSS-Level talents, it's a drop in the ocean. However, after all, mosquito meat is meat. He immediately used the 50 scrolls of intermediate talent upgrade scrolls awarded by this trial on the second transformation of the King's Seal, the second transformation of the Slave's Gain, the second transformation of the Ice, the second transformation of the Resurrection, and the second transformation of the Skill Growth Gain. After using it, he looked at the Slave's Gain carefully. The life attribute column in it made Su Wu quite excited. But how to make them reproduce? Do I have to sow seeds? Su Wu couldn't help muttering. If you were the queen of goblin beauty, he could barely accept it. As for the iron pig, beetle and ghoul, who can stand this? There should be other ways. He thought carefully. He didn't get an explanation in this aspect in the skill explanation. Then he left the job transfer temple. After walking out, the slaves came forward to congratulate Su Wu. Su Wu looked at Ahri and asked the question in his heart. HMPH. HMPH. The iron pig's eyes widened, and he looked at Su Wu with his butt sticking out. Bang! The ghoul kicked the iron pig over with one foot, and his tongue almost fell to the ground, as if saying, I am willing to give birth to monkeys for my master. The goblin queens looked at Su Wu with excitement and expectation. Ahri chuckled and said to Su Wu, Master, you don't have to worry. For common monsters like ghouls, iron pigs, and shadow assassins, you only need a golden hall to deal with them. This is a breeding temple specially used for breeding non-boss monsters. It can only be conquered in extremely rare copies. Buzz, buzz, buzz. In the slave space, waves of vibrations surged out in the space. The slaves had no sense of this vibration force, but Su Wu sensed it very clearly. After careful sensing, he found that the portal he left in the guest room when he entered the slave space was being touched by someone. This vibration seemed like a knock on the door. Through the portal, Su Wu found that it was Wuchichi who touched the portal. What can happen to her? With doubts, Su Wu left the slave space. Buzz. The next second, he stood in the guest room. Wuchichi, who was testing the portal, still pushed forward. This push just caught the air. This made Wuchichi lose balance instantly, and she subconsciously grabbed forward. Snap! Wuchichi bent over and bumped into Su Wu's arms. Her hand suddenly grabbed the point of the word, tie. Sorry. Wuchichi was panicked and stepped back. In panic, she looked at Su Wu with a strange expression and said, It's quite big and strong. Thank you for the compliment. Su Wu pretended to be calm and responded, I have been gifted in this area since I was a child. In fact, that grab, it hurts. Wuchichi's hands can definitely crush iron balls. If he didn't have a physical attribute of up to 310,000 points. This time, it would be a disaster. Ahem, my dad is looking for you. Wuchichi was stunned, lowered her head and said something, and hurriedly grabbed her hand and ran out. Bah! I caught something dirty. This hand can't be used. Cut it off, and grow another one. Listening to Wuchichi's anxious self-talk, Su Wu froze in place. That's a treasure. He waited for a few seconds. He strode towards the living room of the villa in front. When he just walked through the kitchen from the back door. But he saw that Wuchichi actually cut off her hand. Su Wu was shocked. You really cut it? This old woman didn't feel any pain at all. Wait, what surprised him was, it seemed that Wuchichi didn't cut off her hand, but a piece of lotus root and a piece of white flower. There was no blood flowing out of the cross-section of the arm. There were many granulations constantly wriggling. In the blink of an eye, a miniature hand grew out. Wuchichi glanced at Su Wu and said nonchalantly, My talent. It only takes half a minute. Su Wu looked at the hand thrown away by Wuchichi. Song saw it turned into clear water in the blink of an eye. What kind of profession is she? Su Wu felt that Wuchichi was definitely not an ordinary profession. When he walked to the living room, Wu Yu was talking to an old man in a robe. Brother Su Wu, come quickly and meet Ling Juxiao, the dean of Juyu College of Shengxia Academy. Wu Yu introduced Su Wu solemnly. Su Wu was shocked after hearing this and looked at the person in front of him carefully. He recalled one of the portraits hanging in the school classroom. Are you the first god of Shengxia and the founder of Shengxia Education? Su Wu said excitedly. The first god of Shengxia refers to Ling Juxiao, who is the first professional in Shengxia Empire to become a god. The curriculum of Shengxia Education was initiated and compiled by him. Without him, there would be no education in Shengxia Empire. This person is a very learned person. A great god as famous as Long Lai. Ling Jushao nodded politely and said, "It's just some false reputation. I've seen your grades, and the strategy you wrote is perfect. Originally, according to the school's rules, you were going to enter the school's newly opened magic and martial arts department for further study, but they rejected your file. The reason is that you are a professional in the summoning department, which does not meet the requirements for the magic and martial arts department. But professionals in the summoning department are basically military personnel. You are now the deputy commander of the Empire Special Talent Service Center, and you can no longer transfer to the military. So, Wu Yu recommended you to me." Ling Jushao briefly explained the whole story. He took out an identity token and gave it to Su Wu. 5 days later, you will take the token to report to the headquarters of Shengxia Academy. With this token, you can successfully enroll, but to join my Juyu Academy, you still have to go through 3 assessments. The first assessment is to upgrade all your Earth transformation talents to the maximum level within 1 month after entering the academy. This is the 10th assessment. After meeting the conditions, I will give you the second assessment task." Ling Jushao smiled and said, "If you agree, take this token." "Okay." Su Wu looked at Wu Yu's winking expression and quickly agreed. Ling Jushao talked to Wu Yu for a few more words before leaving Wu Yu's house. As soon as Ling Jushao left, Wu Yu then said to Su Wu happily, "Your luck has turned. I didn't expect Ling Jushao to be willing to give you this opportunity. It's really good. Wu, brother, it's okay for me not to go to Juyu College. You don't have to beg for help." Su Wu said to Wu Yu solemnly. This friend of different ages really regarded him as a friend. He could see it too. This Ling Jushao was asked by Wu Yu. Wu Yu laughed. "You don't think too much. Do you think you will get the best resources and treatment if you go to Shengxia Academy? You are wrong. When you go to the academy, you are just an ordinary professional with a slightly higher starting point than other professionals in key academies and 100 times more opportunities. If you do nothing, you will be expelled from Shengxia Academy in less than a year. Here is an extremely strict assessment system. Unless you join the academy under the academy. And these academies are not open to everyone. Even if it is a mythical professional or the only hidden professional who wants to enter, it is extremely difficult and requires a lot of assessments." Speaking of this, Wu Yu paused, and asked Su Wu, "Do you know what professionals need?" "Skills, talents, equipment and experience." Su Wu responded. This is common sense he knew when he was 6 years old. "Yes, where do these things come from?" "In the wild and in dungeons." Wu Yu nodded. "And the good stuff that can be exploded is basically in the dungeons. In this era, the high-yield dungeons are basically monopolized. Empires, companies, consortiums, organizations, various institutions, colleges, etc. Our Empire Special Talent Service Center also has independent monopoly resource dungeons. The reason why Shengxia Academy is known as the first school of Shengxia is that it monopolizes almost all the highest-yield dungeons between the 2nd and 4th transfers. You want to upgrade quickly and get relatively equal equipment, materials and other resources. You can only go to Shengxia Academy. The academy has a total of 36 colleges, among which Juyu College ranks 7th. Its students can not only enter all the dungeons controlled by Shengxia Academy, but also go to the high-yield dungeons of the 2nd-level colleges under the jurisdiction of the academy located in other worlds. "Do you know why?" Wu Yu asked mysteriously. Su Wu's eyes moved. He had thought about this question a long time ago, but he didn't expect to get the answer today. He shook his head. "If I knew, I wouldn't have waited for you to tell me." "Ha ha, I like your personality." Wu Yu laughed, and then he explained. "Because the Juyu Academy under Ling Jushao's command mainly conducts research on life transformation and evolution. It is said that Ling Jushao captured some real extraterritorial gods as his experimental materials and imprisoned them in the academy." Chapter 71. It seems that this Juyu Academy has something to do with me. After returning to the guest room, Su Wu muttered softly. His current job transfer direction is to become a slave master in the direction of life. This direction is related to the research of the academy. He may be able to learn some knowledge. This is the professional match. After he made a decision, he also began to think about leaving. After completing the life trial, I will say goodbye to Brother Wu Yu. I will go home first, and then report directly to the academy. Su Wu has a plan. For dinner, he and Wu Qiqi had a simple meal in the living room of the villa. Neither of them spoke. After returning to the bedroom, Su Wu fell asleep. He didn't wake up until about 7 o'clock the next morning. Su Wu glanced at the time and saw that 12 hours had passed. He immediately entered the slave space again. Buzz. After Su Wu disappeared from the room, Wu Qiqi walked out of the guest room with a pile of breakfast. She saw the portal to the bedroom through the glass, and couldn't help pouting and muttering, "It seems that Senki's meal will be wasted again," said. She hung the things at Su Wu's door, left a note, and went to the underground training room to continue the new day's training. In the slave space, Su Wu came to the job transfer temple again. "Do you want to enter the life trial?" "Yes." Su Wu made a choice. Buzz. The next second, he was teleported to an environment full of birdsong and flowers. There was a monster covered by a ray of light here. The monster was about 3 meters tall. The body was blue. Su Wu used the detection technique to look at the monster. Evolved Hell, Special Boss. Level 60. Strength, 100 million. Agility, 100 million. Spirit, 100 million. Constitution, 1 billion. Skills, Great Earthquake, Meteorite, Corrosion Flood. Hiss. This is too strong. Su Wu looked at it and took a breath. This level of trial. The mythical professionals of the same level who have no resurrection and invincibility will also suffer in the Northwest. When Su Wu took the first step forward, buzz, a prompt appeared in front of him. You get the second turn exclusive professional skill, Transformation. Current task. Kill the Evolver Hell through your slavery, and enslave its skills, transform Hell's skills through the second turn exclusive professional skill of Force, and transform them into life. Note: it is forbidden to use the slavery skill on Hell. After using it, the trial will end immediately and you will lose this copy forever. It's really harsh, but it's not difficult at all. Su Wu muttered softly. As he said, he looked at the second turn exclusive skill he had just obtained. Second turn transformation. Transform non-living slaves into living slaves, consuming 100 points of physical fitness each time. After reading it, a strategy quickly appeared in Su Wu's mind. Using Gobmai's 114-fold multiplication skill to strengthen the Blazing Evil Fox and the Tiger King, the four-dimensional attributes of the two slaves can instantly soar to hundreds of millions. In this way, it will be easy to attack this monster. If only the ghouls appear. Su Wu was afraid that the ghouls would be out of control and kill the boss directly. At this moment, he summoned the Goblin Queen, the Blazing Evil Fox and the Tiger King according to his idea, and waited for the two slaves to complete the multiplication and amplification. Su Wu then arranged the two slaves to go forward and touch the light curtain. Buzz. After 20 seconds, the light curtain that imprisoned the Evolver Hell disappeared. Hell roared after seeing the Blazing Evil Fox and the Tiger King. In front of the two huge monsters, it raised its hands and pointed at Su Wu's slaves. Boom, boom, boom. In an instant, 6 huge fireballs appeared in the sky. No, they were meteorites. The diameter of each meteorite was about 30 meters. They were rushing towards the Blazing Evil Fox and the Tiger King. Seeing this, Su Wu directly used the teleportation. He and the Tiger King changed their positions. When the meteorite was about to hit the fiery fox, he swung his sword into the air. Boom, boom, boom. The meteorite that hit the fiery fox was cut into pieces. Su Wu stopped the Tiger King from shooting with his bow, and waited until the meteorite was about to hit him. He used the enslavement skill on the meteorite. Buzz. The falling meteorite shook slightly. The next second, 3 meteors turned into a stream of light and disappeared into Su Wu's palm. A burning spherical stone appeared in his hand. Although it had flames on the surface, it did not burn Su Wu. Item: meteorite. Quantity: 3 pieces. Identity: Su Wu's slave. Status: flying. How to use: throw the meteorite at the enemy, it can instantly change into a real meteorite and cause damage to the enemy. At this time, Hull saw that its attack was ineffective. He roared immediately. In an instant, the whole world shook. A huge crack appeared in the earth. Even the Tiger King and the Fiery Evil Fox could not stand firm and fell directly to the ground. The ground seemed to have turned into a glutton. A crack was slowly opening. A stream of hot breath emerged from the ground, almost in the blink of an eye. The surrounding trees instantly turned into dead wood. The Tiger King was burned by the hot breath and screamed. Su Wu also fell to the ground. He was dizzy and confused, and couldn't tell the direction, and couldn't see the location of the evolver hull. Point 0. Slavery. He grabbed the ground fiercely and shouted loudly. The skill was used. Buzz. The earthquake disappeared instantly. But the damage caused by the earthquake was still there. The Tiger King was stuck in a narrow crack. Half of the body of the fiery evil fox was buried in the rolling soil. Su Wu had an earthquake ball in his hand. He took a closer look. Wow, the earthquake used by the evolver hull was actually a magnitude 10 earthquake. No wonder the world was turned upside down in just a few seconds. Hull was stunned at first, and then waved his hands angrily. Boom. At this moment, the sky seemed to have a crack. At the intersection of heaven and earth, a huge ocean rolled in. The ocean was filled with endless stench and strong acid. Buzz. In the blink of an eye, Su Wu took the two slaves back to the slave space. Crash. When the corrosive flood came to the front of the evolver hull, it took the initiative to bypass hull and attacked Su Wu. Buzz. In a flash, the surging flood was quickly frozen. It triggered Su Wu's second-level talent, Ice. Everything within 40,000 meters around Su Wu was frozen. The evolver hull turned into an ice sculpture. When he encountered earthquakes and meteorites before, Su Wu deliberately controlled and did not activate the ice. But the flood is a flowing corrosive damage. Once it touches Su Wu, it will immediately cause serious physical damage. He did not control the activation of the passive talent. At this time, he used the slave skill on the frozen flood in front. In the blink of an eye, it fell into Su Wu's palm. At this moment, Su Wu had a black crystal ball in his hand. Item: Corrosion Flood. Disaster Attribute: Great Flood. Identity: Su Wu Slave. Status: Rolling. How to use: throw the corrosion flood crystal ball, and the flood will automatically emerge. It will bypass you and annihilate all life in the area. Looked at the crystal ball. He summoned the Tiger King and the blazing fire fox again. Buzz. Under the joint attack of the two slaves. One hit. Evolver hull died directly. Buzz. Congratulations on getting 500,000 experience points. At this time, the reward of evolver hull jumped into sight. Su Wu's eyes moved, and he looked at the panel. Instead of upgrading directly, the experience was stored. After seeing it, he breathed a sigh of relief. It turns out that you need to upgrade manually to upgrade. If you don't choose to upgrade, the experience can be accumulated. When there are enough, it can also be used to upgrade talents. Su Wu glanced around. He saw nothing else. There was no prompt. He immediately transformed the disaster skills that he had just enslaved according to the task. Buzz. You successfully transformed the corrosion flood into life. You obtained 1 disaster spirit enslavement. The corrosion flood ball in Su Wu's hand turned into a palm-sized elf. The elf exuded a foul odor, as if it was made of stinky water. He looked at the elf's panel. Disaster spirit. Race: Disaster. Level: 0. Strength: 100. Agility: 100. Spirit: 1000. Constitution: 100. Skill: Corrosion Flood. Corrosion Flood. Near the stream, trigger the stream to form a corrosion flood. Duration: 3 minutes. This is to turn the previous disaster into a disaster spirit that can be upgraded. This kind of life wisdom. Quote. Su Wu explored it carefully. Finally, he sighed. The intelligence is equivalent to that of a 6-month-old dog, and it only follows orders. But it is loyal to me. Then, he used the same method to transform the meteorite and the 30 balls of the Richter 10 earthquake into new disaster spirits. The 4-dimensional properties of the two of them are the same as the first one. The only difference is the skills. Meteorite. Summon a meteorite with a diameter of 10 meters to attack the enemy. Earthquake. Cause a Richter 4 earthquake with a depth of 10 kilometers, which lasts for 3 seconds. This is much more useful than the disaster ball that is only used once. After Su Wu checked, his eyes flashed slightly. Congratulations on completing the basic task. You get 100,000 experience points. Please use your synthesis skills to synthesize the disaster spirit. At this time, the task prompt appeared again. Su Wu thought carefully. He also transformed the volcanic eruption and the Richter 8 earthquake ball that he had enslaved before. After the transformation, he synthesized these 5 disaster spirits. Buzz. The light and shadow flickered. 5 disaster spirits came together one after another. Finally, they became a disaster spirit with a jade-like body. After the synthesis, the 4-dimensional attributes of the disaster spirit did not change. The skills became corrosive floods, meteorites, volcanic eruptions and earthquakes. It also gained a talent of disaster absorption. Disaster absorption. S-level, absorb the energy of the disaster and convert it into spiritual value. Unable to upgrade. What Su Wu valued was that the earthquake skill turned out to be a BT version of the skill. Earthquake. Create an 800 magnitude earthquake with a depth of 100 kilometers and a duration of 600 seconds. This is entirely because the skill numbers brought by Su Wu's level 20 synthesis skill are accumulated and stacked to obtain a 100-fold gain effect. Not to mention whether there is an 800 magnitude earthquake in this world. This value alone is already very terrifying. A 10 magnitude earthquake will not leave Su Wu and his 2 boss servants unscathed. This 800 magnitude earthquake must be the destruction of the world. Thinking of this, Su Wu's mouth curled up with an evil smile. At this time, congratulations on completing the task and gaining 100,000 experience points. You get the 2nd level skill, Alien Core. Please use the Alien Core to extract the talent of one servant and use it. Looking at the prompt in front of him, Su Wu's eyes flashed. Without looking at the skill, he was sure that this was definitely a powerful skill to enhance his own strength. He looked at the Alien Core at the first time. 2nd transformation Alien Core. Use 1000 blood crystals to condense 1 Alien Core. Alien Core can extract the talent of slaves and transfer it to professionals or other slaves. 1 Alien Core can extract times and transfer times. Note: the talent transferred through the Alien Core can only be upgraded to level 10 at most, and cannot be transferred for the 2nd time. After the talent is extracted, the slave will die. What a great skill! Su Wu's eyes lit up. This is definitely a skill that can make a lot of money. It is also a skill that can infinitely strengthen oneself. He took out 1000 ordinary blood crystals and directly used the 2nd transformation Alien Core skill. Buzz. In the blink of an eye, the blood crystals condensed into a ball. Under a flash of light, it turned into a blood-red thumb-sized, jumping core-like crystal. Su Wu used the detection technique to look at the properties of the Alien Core. He found that it was exactly the same as the description in the skill. He thought for a moment and decided to use the Alien Core on the Goblin Queen. Buzz. Soon, a Goblin Queen was summoned. Su Wu took out the Alien Core. He used the Alien Core to extract the Goblin Queen's talent. Buzz. In the blink of an eye, the Goblin Queen fell to the ground without a breath. Su Wu looked at the Alien Core and saw that there was indeed a talent in it. Devouring Evolution. After thinking about it, he grafted this talent to himself. Buzz. You get the alien talent, Devouring Evolution. Su Wu looked at the talent immediately. Devouring Evolution. Alienated and cannot be upgraded, can increase growth value by devouring the flesh and blood of life. Current growth. Strength, 10, Agility, 10, Spirit, 10, Constitution, 50. Done. When he saw the content of this talent, he was excited. In his opinion, this is comparable to a 5S level talent. This talent is awesome, even if it doesn't need to be upgraded. It is a talent that can grow by itself. With it, Su Wu's starting point is hundreds of steps too high. Suddenly, he thought of Ahri's talent. No, not yet. Ahri will die after extracting the talent, and I can't control the Alien Core to extract the specified talent. Wait a minute. Su Wu muttered softly. What he coveted the most was the attribute enhancement talent of the Blazing Fire Fox. What a pity. This boss comes from the Blue Star Life and Death Trial. At this stage, it is very useful to Su Wu, and its talent cannot be extracted. The talent of the ghoul is not bad, but compared to eating more flesh and blood, he prefers the talent of Devouring Evolution, which only needs a small piece of flesh and blood to gain growth value. The Nirvana of the Storm Arrow Tiger King and Hal's Skull Shop are both excellent talents. What a pity. These bosses are all unique. Su Wu can only participate in the Blue Star life and death trial once, cannot capture the main boss multiple times. Keep it for now. His last look fell on the bloodthirsty scarab. He took out 1,000 blood crystals and condensed an alienation core. After extracting the control immunity 890 talent of a scarab, directly transferred to himself. Control immunity. Already alienated and cannot be advanced. 20% chance of immunity to all control skills. Great. Su Wu laughed at this. If this goes on. That's it. Buzz. At this time, the task prompt appeared. Congratulations on completing the current life trial task. You get 100,000 experience. Get the second level exclusive professional talent, fusion. Su Wu's eyes moved, and he hurriedly looked at this talent. Second turn combination. S-level, combine with the slave, use the slave's 4-dimensional attributes and skill talents to fight, and the damage you suffer will be borne by the slave. After using this talent, you will not be able to use your own skills and talents. Duration. 10 minutes. This talent is suitable for special environments and battlefields. Su Wu whispered softly. Looking at the panel in front of him, he was indeed a little unhappy. The first assessment issued by Ling Juxiao was originally very easy. Now it is indeed getting heavier. At this time, he suddenly found a well in front of him. He used the detection technique on the well. Rule building. Breaking limit well function. Break the level limit of the first turn skill and turn the skill into a second turn skill. Instructions for use. Drink the water in the well, and all the full level first turn skills in the skill list will be promoted to second turn skills. Good stuff. Su Wu's eyes moved, and he quickly picked up a spoon from the edge of the well, scooped a spoonful of cool well water from it, and drank it all in one gulp. Buzz. Instantly, a ball of light bloomed from his body. Buzz. At the last moment of the life trial, Su Wu used the enslavement skill on the limit-breaking well. The limit-breaking well shook slightly. It rose from the ground. It turned into a well model the size of a USB flash drive and fell into Su Wu's hands. Almost at the same time, he was teleported back to the trial temple by the copy. Congratulations to the master for completing the job transfer task. Under the leadership of Ahri, Gobmai, Morgana and other slaves who could speak celebrated. Su Wu nodded and walked to the side of the trial temple. He exiled the limit-breaking well he had just enslaved here. Buzz. In the blink of an eye, the limit-breaking well changed. The water flow in the well was still flush with the edge of the well. Ahri was shocked after seeing it. Master, you stole the rule building of the copy again. Well, what do you mean again? Su Wu glared at Ahri and said seriously, this is called the virtuous occupy the place. What God gave me, I will naturally watch it. Yes, Ahri gave Su Wu's theory a thumbs up. This time Su Wu was in a good mood. He took everyone to the jungle cabin to discuss farming matters. As the saying goes, hoeing the field at noon, sweat dripping on the field. Who knows that every grain of food on the plate is hard-earned? What a pity. Su Wu tasted big papayas. The rice grains were too big to fall on the dining table. After a hard work, Su Wu left the slave space with satisfaction. When he came out, it was already evening outside. Su Wu was thinking about going to report to Shengxia Academy. He had to go home anyway. He immediately walked to the front. Looking for a while, he found that Wu Yu had not returned yet. Wu Qiqi left 2 letters and went out to raid the dungeon. After Su Wu thought about it, he left a farewell letter in the living room. When leaving Wu Yu's villa, wow, a person walked out of the darkness outside the villa. I, the secret guard of the Imperial Special Talent Service Center, greets the deputy commander. I appeared and saluted. Su Wu nodded and said to I have left a letter to Wu Hu. I am going to the Imperial Transmission Center now and use the cross-domain transmission array to return to Qiantang Province. He had heard Wu Yu say it a long time ago. A large number of secret guards have been arranged around here to ensure the safety and cleanliness of the entire residential area. I was not surprised after hearing this. He said solemnly, Lord Wu Hu just returned to the moon this afternoon because of the extraterritorial war. He asked me to tell you that he has applied for you to use the super domain transmission function of Liangyi Tianxia for free once, and temporarily open the module in your Tukun network. After listening to Ai's words, Su Wu opened the Chenkin network. Sure enough, After the 4 commonly used modules, he saw the 5th teleportation module. After he entered the teleportation module, he saw the function of super domain teleportation. You only have one free use of super domain teleportation. After use, the module will be automatically closed. Please select the destination of teleportation. After Su Wu saw it, he first exited and thanked the moth. He then entered again and chose Duzhong City, Qiantang Province. Please stand still. Super domain teleportation will start in 3 seconds. This teleportation time is 1 second. Countdown starts. 3, 2, 1, buzz. In the blink of an eye, a dazzling light flashed in the dark night. Su Wu instantly disappeared from the spot. When he appeared in the teleportation array of the Duzhong City Provincial Teleportation Center, he seemed to see a familiar figure in a trance. When he saw everything around him clearly, he suddenly found that this place was blocked. The one who carried out the blockade was Ji Yuyan, who had met him once before. Hello, Su Wu. From now on, I will be your security manager. I will be responsible for your safety from now until you leave Qiantang Province. Ji Yuyan walked up to Su Wu solemnly and extended a hand of friendship. Formally meet, my name is Ji Yuyan, the captain of the summoning team, under Lord Zhang Ning. I admire your ability and hope you can consider our summoning team. She threw an olive branch to Su Wu. Su Wu did not refuse immediately. I will consider it. Su Wu took Ji Yuyan away from the transmission center. After 15 minutes after they left, the elite team of the security committee that blocked the center left one after another. However, Su Wu walking on the street found that there were more strange people on the street. These people would look at him from time to time. Don't be afraid. These are spies from the Qiantang Provincial Security Committee and the Occupational Committee. This operation is led by us, supplemented by the 2 agencies, and is a security activity strongly supported by the Qiantang Provincial Government. Ji Yuyan explained to Su Wu softly. In order for you to have a safe environment here, Duzhong City, Qiantang Province has carried out a security operation for half a month, cracking down on 12 dens involving gangs and special forces, and completely clearing the dark side of the entire city. Tell the truth, I really envy you. When she said this, she showed an admiring look. Yes, this is a supreme honor in her eyes. She has been performing tasks at the Imperial Special Talent Service Center for 3 years. It is the first time she has seen a provincial government implement such strict and rigorous security protection measures for a newly promoted professional. This is so enviable. Su Wu took the vehicle provided by the security committee and returned home. He gave his father Su Qin some gold coins, longevity pills, and the 4 major first-turn sets prepared for his sister and parents, as well as some materials and other resources. After briefly explaining where he was going, the next day, he met with the provincial governor and the school principal and had a sumptuous lunch. Then he hurriedly took the cross-domain teleportation array and returned to the imperial capital again. He did not go to Wu Yu's home. Instead, he used the teleportation array of the imperial capital. He teleported himself to Beidou Satellite City near the imperial capital. Shengxia Academy is not in the imperial capital, but above the imperial capital city circle. The imperial capital city circle is centered on the imperial capital, and has a radius of 20,000 kilometers. There are 108 large and small satellite cities. Some of these satellite cities are the locations of key imperial colleges. Some are like Beidou Satellite City, a ground trade city affiliated to Shengxia Academy. It is the only 2 transmission channels connecting Shengxia Academy. It is also the choice of most people. Su Wu walked out of the regional transmission center of Beidou Satellite City and went straight to the school transmission hall that was dedicated to the academy. Hello. Please show me your visiting order or student token. A guard in front of the teleportation hall stopped Su Wu. Su Wu took out the token Ling Juxiao gave him. Is this okay? I'm a freshman this year. Freshman, you're here 3 days early. Now is not the time to report. However, with the authority of this token, you can indeed enroll in advance. Please pay 1,000 contribution points as the teleportation fee. The guard took out a trading treasure. The so-called trading treasure is a biological payment treasure with a magic screen. The user needs to set the currency and amount to be collected on it. The payer only needs to put his finger on the biometric identification module. It only takes 1 second to complete the payment. It can also display the information in the payer's bank on the payer's retina through a special magic mental effect. This ensures both the security of payment and the confidentiality of the payer's information. Su Wu blinked. Not free. Of course, students pay 1,000 contribution points each time, and outsiders pay between 10,000 and 1 million contribution points according to their level. The guard explained politely. If you don't have enough contribution points, you can go to the satellite city to take on tasks to earn them. 1,000 contribution points can be earned in half a day if you are fast. That's not necessary, Su Wu muttered softly. He then paid the contribution points. Ding! The corresponding information appeared in his retina. Su Wu looked at his account again through the Chenkin network, and waited to confirm that there was no overcharge. He then entered the teleportation detong from the automatically opened channel. Director Feng. Director Feng. In the transmission hall, a fat man came out of the office sweating profusely, and there were constant greetings around him. The fat man nodded in response, and he wiped the sweat off his forehead with a handkerchief. He looked up and looked forward. After finding the target, he then strode towards Su Wu. You are classmate Su Wu, right? The fat man walked straight to Su Wu, who was queuing. At this time, there were several people around Su Wu who cast their eyes on the fat man. Su Wu nodded. Who are you? The fat man introduced himself. I am Feng Gang, the director of the teleportation hall of Shengxia Academy. I detected that your identity is a bit special, so I came here to lead you through the special channel. Oh, Su Wu looked at Feng Gang, who was sweating, and refused directly. This is not necessary. Yes. The Juyu Academy you are going to is located in another world. You need to apply for a normal teleportation channel. It takes 3 months to be approved. And you have to queue up. Feng Gang smiled and said, I can arrange expedited teleportation for you. Using the exclusive channel of Juyu Academy, it is not only fast, but you can reach the academy tomorrow. Juyu Academy students basically take this channel. Really? Su Wu muttered in confusion. But I don't remember Dean Ling asking me to report to Juyu College. You don't understand this. Each college in our school has its own rules. The rule of your Juyu College is that since you are admitted to Juyu, you must go there first to report, and then go back to the main school to take the test. Feng Gang explained, and his sweat was getting more and more. At this time, a man walked out from the back of the team. This man walked to Su Wu's side, and he added Su Wu through the Chenkin network. Su Wu. I am Ling Xiao, please add me as a friend. Su Wu frowned slightly, but still entered the Chenkin network and found that someone certified by the Imperial Special Talent Service Center had indeed added him, and this person was indeed this name. He added the other party as a friend. The other party sent a few numbers. When Su Wu exited, Ling Xiao whispered the numbers in Su Wu's ear. Su Wu was relieved after hearing this. He chatted with this person through the Chenkin network. I am a plainclothes officer responsible for protecting you, a member of the security team of the Empire Special Talent Service Center. Ling Xiao explained. I suggest you take the exclusive channel on Director Feng's side. The students of Juyu College do have independent channels. Okay. Su Wu no longer doubted and nodded in agreement. Feng Gang wiped his sweat while taking Su Wu to the office. First, he verified Su Wu's identity and asked Su Wu to leave a pass record. He then gave Su Wu a temporary teleportation rune. After Su Wu walked out of the office, Feng Gang turned around and took Su Wu to the special teleportation channel on the side of the public teleportation hall. Buzz. Before Su Wu walked into the special teleportation channel, the temporary teleportation rune in his hand suddenly lit up. In the blink of an eye, Su Wu disappeared on the spot. Feng Gang paused and turned his head quickly. Crashed. At this time, a group of people rushed out from the surroundings, suddenly controlled Feng Gang. Even the person who had just come forward with Su Ling Xiao, whom Wu met, was also caught. The teleportation hall suddenly became chaotic. The guards rushed over. On the other side, after half an hour of teleportation, Su Wu came to a desert environment full of yellow sand. Under his feet was a teleportation array. The magic crystal of the array had been broken. Crash. Ah, the big fish was caught. Haha, great. It's really easy to earn this contribution point. At this time, more than a dozen people came from the surroundings. These people were not from the Shengxia Empire. But some golden-eyed, big black and Caucasian people. Foreign forces. Oh, I understand. Su Wu suddenly realized. Fang Gang was sweating not because of heat, but because of fear. Because after Su Wu was teleported here, Fang Gang would definitely die. What about Ling Xiao? He must be an enemy spy. For me alone, they exposed 2 big fish in a row. How willing they are. He muttered softly, while speaking. Buzz. The Storm Arrow Tiger King and the Blazing Fire Fox were summoned by him. In an instant, the team that thought everything was fine suddenly stopped. Then, the Blazing Fire Fox and the Tiger King attacked at the same time. Sky-blinding evil light sword. Ice-sealed arrow. Buzz. The hot air became cool. The dozen people who surrounded them were instantly stunned. Then in less than 10 seconds, they were frozen by the Tiger King. Su Wu walked up to one of them with a smile, and he used the enslavement skill on him. Buzz. Congratulations on successfully enslaving Born. You get Born's dedication, and you get 1.2 billion gold coins 24. You get the orange unique weapon, Blooming Word. Blooming Word is the only weapon, so the reward will be converted into a magic weapon of equal value, Blooming Truth Bell 264. You get the magic item, Vulture Wings 24. You get the green suit, Phantom Sound Barrier 24. In the blink of an eye, Su Wu got a lot of equipment and gold coins. Su Wu immediately looked at his panel through the detection technique. Born. Profession. Illusion Bell Mage Myth. Level. 47. Strength. 28,110. Agility. 58,109. Spirit. 73,210. Constitution. 58,108. Equipment. None. Skills. Second turn bell, level 17, second turn illusion, level 17, second turn string, level 17, second turn synergy, level 17, second turn magic barrier, level 17, second turn sound puppet, level 17. Talents. Second turn spirit bell, level 6, second turn sound kill, level 7, second turn super memory, level 1. Professional features. 100 times growth, level 3. You are really willing to give it up. Myth professional. Su Wu immediately enslaved other professionals. According to the skills before the second turn, he can only enslave lives 9 levels higher than his level. The enslavement skills after the second turn also changed. Second level slavery. You can force enslave any existence whose level does not exceed your level 18, regardless of the other party's state. Slavery types. Life, puppets, spirits of wisdom, natural disasters, regular buildings, natural environments with a diameter of 10 meters, enhanced talent, king of slavery seal. Su Wu was a little confused by the change in the slavery skill. At the same time, after the summoning skill was promoted to the second level, it directly became second level summoning cannot be upgraded. There was no change in its internal attribute items. Su Wu thought about it and walked towards the others. Among the 13 people who hunted him, 2 were successfully enslaved by him. The rest could not be enslaved because their levels were too high, 20 levels higher than Su Wu's own level. In that case, then die. Su Wu ordered Morgana to extract the vitality of these 11 people. He then looked at Born. Tell me, who are you? What do you want to do? Master, I am a member of the God Bear Special Agent Organization. I have accepted a joint mission with them. The mission requires us to wait for your arrival here and take you to a secret base we have set up in the alien world of Gornis. Born said solemnly. This mission was initiated by the Ugly Country, and more than a dozen countries including God Bear, Blast Furnace, and John jointly carried out in secret. For the secret in your mind. Gornis, how far is it from here? Su Wu's eyes moved after hearing this, and he asked casually, is it dangerous there? Danger. There are more than 100 level spiritual professionals there. Born said solemnly. Su Wu asked some more questions, and then used the alien core skill again to condense an alien core and used it on Born. Buzz. He extracted Born's super memory talent. He used it on himself immediately. Born died on the spot. Su Wu threw Born's body into the slave space. Then he looked at this talent. Super memory. Alienated and unable to advance. Can remember everything seen, down to any detail, and will never forget. Brain. Capacity increased by 1 times. This should be hypermnesia in the past. This talent seems very powerful, but it puts a great burden on the brain. After all, the space occupied by fuzzy modeling and fine modeling is different. The finer the things, the larger the capacity. Once the capacity exceeds the standard, it is easy to cause memory confusion in the brain. The advantage of this talent over hypermnesia is that it can increase the capacity of the brain. This also means that it can make my brain capacity become larger. Su Wu muttered softly. This is a good thing. With it, Su Wu can do a lot of things. At the moment, he looked at the second slave. This slave is an epic level professional with no talent. He is the leader of this group of agents. Master, my name is Muerxi. I am the leader of Lotta Star. If you want to go back to Blue Star, you can go back through my channel, but you have to wait 3 days. During these 3 days, you can go to our unique second turn copy to experience. Muerxi eagerly introduced everything about Lotta Star and the specialness of the copy here. After hearing this, Su Wu looked at Morgana. We can go and try this dungeon. Buzz. Morgana understood, and she stepped forward and put the scepter of harvest on Muerxi's forehead. In the blink of an eye, Muerxi died. Su Wu looked at Morgana, who was hesitant to speak, and said with a smile, "Do you think I'm stupid?" "A little bit." Morgana was stunned, and then laughed. This shows that Su Wu knows what he is doing. Su Wu didn't say much. He summoned the spirit of disaster and took out a handful of level 10 blood crystals to feed it. At present, Su Wu still has 458,220 blood crystals. It's enough for a while. It takes 100 level 10 blood crystals to upgrade to level 1. After testing, Su Wu got a result that shocked him. The spirit of disaster did not disappoint him, and the growth value was indeed enough. Immediately, Su Wu summoned Ahri and asked Ahri to upgrade the level of blood crystals for the spirit of disaster according to the plan. After Ahri spent 49,000 attribute points, 4,900 level 10 blood crystals were upgraded. The spirit of disaster ate happily. In a few seconds, the spirit of disaster had been promoted to level 50. Spirit of disaster. Race. Disaster. Level. 50. Strength. 600,100. Agility. 600,100. Spirit. 1,200,000 1000. Constitution. 600,100. Skills. Corrosion Flood Level 5 Meteorite Level 5 Earthquake Level 5 Volcanic Eruption Level 5. Talent. Disaster Absorption. Corrosion Flood Level 5 Near a stream, the stream will form a corrosion flood, which lasts for 363 minutes. Volcanic Eruption Level 5 Awaken the volcano and detonate it, giving the volcano 242 times the eruption energy. Meteorite Level 5 Summon 121 meteorites with a diameter of 130 meters to attack the enemy. Earthquake Level 5 Create a 920 magnitude earthquake with a depth of 1,300 kilometers, lasting for 1,800 seconds. The growth of each level of the disaster spirit is 500 strength, 500 agility, 1,000 spirit, and 500 constitution. Under Su Wu's slave gain, it obtains 24 times the 4-dimensional attributes and skill amplification. So, it has such a huge 4-dimensional attribute. And the disaster skill that is simply too strong. Such a powerful skill, if all are used together. Su Wu believes that no place can bear it. Since we are here, don't rush back. Su Wu whispered. Let's see what's going on with the plan first. He contacted Gotada Takeshi through the communication talent. Master. Gotada Takeshi's voice sounded. Su Wu then asked, "What's the situation over there?" "It is expected that they will send me to Ugly Country in 3 hours." Gong Tianwu said solemnly, "By the way, they arranged for Fujikawa Shizuka to meet me. She should be waiting in a safe house next to the Farong Peak base now." Les from Ugly Country came here and wanted to send Fujikawa Shizuka to Ugly Country. The royal family originally agreed to their request, but I don't know why they regretted it now. Les went to the city to negotiate with the royal family. After hearing the news from Gang Tianwu, Su Wu learned about the situation from Fujikawa Shizuka again. It turned out that Fujikawa Shizuka's father was promoted to level 100. The royal family was afraid that the inspection of Fujikawa Shizuka would be known and cause conflicts in the royal family. So they wanted to push the responsibility to Ugly Country. Who knew? Just when Fujikawa Shizuka was just sent to the base, Fujikawa Shizuka's father returned from outside the domain. So Fujikawa Shizuka was taken out of prison. Gong Tianwu was under strict supervision. Su Wu's eyes flickered after hearing this. He changed his appearance into that of Born. The next second, with the help of the 1,000 masks, his body began to become like a muscular man, and his height grew by several centimeters. Even the hair on his body became more, especially on the chest. After completing the transformation, Su Wu recalled all the slaves back to the slave space. He took off all the equipment he was carrying. He changed into a set of thunder suits and an ordinary staff. After waiting for a few minutes, buzz, the space swayed slightly. Su Wu used the support attribute of the summoning skill. In the blink of an eye, he came to Gangtian Wu's side. Greetings, Master. Gangtian Wu bowed his head. Su Wu nodded, and he condensed another alienation core and used it on Gangtian Wu. This person is now completely useless. Rather than sending him to the ugly country to be dissected, it's better to give him a bargain. At present, the 4 sides of this cell are made of special materials. There is only a ventilation observation hole at the cell door. The surroundings are confined spaces. Buzz. In the blink of an eye, Su Wu extracted a talent from Gotada Takeshi. He hurriedly ended the support and returned to a sand dune on the Lotta Star. After that, he used the same method to come to Fujikawa Shizuka's room. Fujikawa Shizuka had been waiting for a long time, and she hurriedly knelt down. Seeing this, Su Wu nodded slightly, and also used the alien core to extract a skill from Fujikawa Shizuka. After completion, he placed Fujikawa Shizuka's body on the bed. He stood in the bathroom of the room and summoned the spirit of disaster. The spirit of disaster obeyed Su Wu's instructions. It raised its hand and grabbed the air. Boom. At this moment, the alarm sounded in the base next to it. I saw 121 huge meteorites with a diameter of 130 meters suddenly appear out of thin air and smash towards the base. This scene scared the professionals in the base so much that their legs were numb. The 3rd-level professional hurriedly ran to the height of the base and launched one attack after another into the air. Boom, boom. Instantly, a violent roar sounded. 4 or 5 meteorites were smashed. However, these 4 or 5 meteorites changed from 130 meters in diameter to dozens of meters in diameter, and they still fell downwards at an unreduced speed. Soon, a large number of professionals, as well as professionals from the base army stationed around, joined in the action of smashing the meteorites. Boom. At this time, a lake more than 100 meters away from Su Wu's area suddenly boiled. Instantly, the corrosion flood was successfully triggered. A large amount of flood water rushed towards the surrounding low-lying areas. For a while, a large number of tourists and professionals around went up to Farong Peak. Su Wu then asked the spirit of disaster to try to activate Farong Peak. After more than 10 seconds, the spirit of disaster responded, Master. The volcanic eruption of Farong Peak was suppressed by the power of the super magic circle. With my current ability, I cannot tear the magic circle apart and detonate the volcano. Moreover, the corrosive flood I created was intercepted by the professionals and successfully curbed. Foot Basin. In a magnificent palace in Farong City. The head of the ugly Foreign Affairs Bureau, Les, looked at the old emperor in front of him solemnly and said solemnly, Sir. Are you sure you don't agree to our request? After that, he looked at a strong professional next to the old emperor, Prince Kaobi. You should know that the conditions I give are enough for you to be promoted to a higher level, and even help you go further. What we need is the secret of the Blue Star Life and Death Trial, which is the key to becoming the chairman. Just then, a servant hurried over. Your Majesty, the Farong Peak base was attacked by an unknown force, and an unknown wizard released a large meteorite forbidden spell to the base, summoning a large number of meteorites. After the servant finished reporting, another attendant came running in a hurry. Your Majesty, an unknown wizard is causing chaos in the lakes around Farong Peak, causing corrosive floods. Swish. Les' pupils shrank when he heard the voice, and he looked at the old emperor with a 687 look. Did they do it on purpose? He couldn't think of anyone who could use this ability. You must know that the Foot Basin is now in a state of complete blockade. Only people from the ugly country and the Foot Basin can enter and exit. The old emperor stood up suddenly. Quick. Order the disaster reserve team to go. Just then, The ground under their feet suddenly shook. On the other side, it seems that only that skill can be used. Su Wu muttered softly, just when he was about to end the support and return to Lotta Star. Several urgent messages were sent from the Chenkin network. Su Wu opened it and saw that it was Zhang Ning and Wu Yu's inquiries. Su Wu smiled. Nothing. Please pay attention to today's news. Don't worry, the enemy will be killed. After he replied in succession, Zhang Ning said solemnly, I feel relieved with your words. Wu Yu responded immediately, I have applied for 2 ultra-long distance transmissions for you. You can use the transmission module of the Chenkin network to transmit back to the Imperial Capital or Shengxia Academy at any time. Fang Gang has explained everything about Shengxia Academy and involved an enemy spy line. This credit goes to you. But, Shengxia Academy will give you an apology. We have carried out a full-scale cleansing here. Please rest assured that the Empire Special Talent Service Center will be invincible. They are all our own people. After reading Wu Yu's response, Su Wu's heart skipped a beat. Wu Yu used the word, cleansing. This indicates that all the problematic personnel are gone. There will only be, our own people, left there. This one. It should be someone Wu Yu trusts 100%. Then, he looked at the Chenkin network. It was found that the transmission module that appeared this time was no longer a temporary module but a permanent module. After entering, he had 2 free ultra-long distance transmission opportunities. And he has the right to pay to use the Chenkin network transmission module. This should be the supplement given to him by Wu Yu. After all, he, a person who has just joined the company, should not have such privileges. This made him smile knowingly. Su Wu immediately gave orders to the Spirit of Disaster. Buzz. The next second he returned to Lotta Star. At this moment, the Spirit of Disaster left under the foot basin. Farong Peak half crouched under the ground. Under its induction, the 5-level earthquake skill was used. This is not a magnitude 5 earthquake on the Richter scale. It is an earthquake with a depth of 1,300 kilometers and a magnitude on the Richter scale. This kind of earthquake has hardly been defined in the human era. No one knows how powerful it is. Boom. In an instant, the earth shook. Farong Peak collapsed with a bang. Then, the majestic magic formation that imprisoned Farong Peak lost a corner at this moment because of the earthquake. Then, boom, the suppressed energy of Farong Peak erupted. 10 seconds later, a magnitude 920 earthquake was completely formed. Destroy it. Trash. The Spirit of Disaster whispered softly. Boom. The next second, it was completely destroyed by the power of the earthquake. At the same time, the entire foot basin was broken into ashes by this world-destroying power. At this time, Wu Yu, who was at the lunar base, suddenly heard a violent geological disaster alarm. He hurriedly called up the impact from the magic screen beside him. When he found out that it was the foot basin, he was shocked. He couldn't help but think of what Su Wu said. Click, click, click. A series of hurried footsteps came from outside the office. Without waiting for the footsteps to walk into the office, a picture came from Wu Yu's magic screen. I saw the foot basin protected by a huge magic barrier. It collapsed into dust in the blink of an eye. Even the magic barrier couldn't contain the world-destroying power. Boom. Instantly, a boundless storm rolled up on the ocean. Warning, warning, world-destroying catastrophe. It is recommended to start the emergency disaster energy extraction program. Wu Yu's body trembled with fear, and he quickly pressed the button. 0. Buzz. Instantly, a ray of light was projected from the moon. The power that was expanding from the place where the foot basin disappeared to the surroundings condensed instantly. Then, this power was completely absorbed and transformed. Buzz. Disaster energy conversion pool number 1 is full. Disaster energy conversion pool number 2 is full. Disaster energy conversion pool No 1092 is full. Disaster energy conversion pool No 2024 is 90% full. Disaster energy has been completely absorbed and is being converted. It is expected that all of it will be converted into the energy source of the base within 5 years. The sea surface disaster has subsided. The foot basin was completely wiped out by the disaster. Please execute the off-domain intrusion detection program. Please upgrade the Blue Star intrusion alarm system. Need to pass the level. A series of messages appeared on the screen and reached Wu Yu's ears. He almost felt his scalp numb and his legs were a little weak. Don't tell me it was Su Wu who did this. Wu Yu couldn't help but muttered. Slap. Then he slapped himself. Am I stupid? Does Su Wu have such great ability? He was just kidnapped to another area, how could he be in the foot basin? Thinking of this, he hurriedly entered the Chenkin network, and only breathed a sigh of relief when he confirmed that Su Wu was alive and had not used the teleportation opportunity. Click. At this moment, the door of the office was pushed open. I saw a member of the foot basin looking at Wu Yu solemnly and said, Sir, please save my foot basin. Bang. He knelt on the ground and kowtowed continuously. Wu Yu sighed. My condolences. This geological disaster is too strong. It is enough to destroy the blue star more than 100 times. Our disaster reserve pool is almost exhausted. The foot basin representative looked up. He saw the information and operations on Wu Yu's screen. Immediately burst into tears. Then, he roared angrily. It must be the ugly country. They control all the geological disasters in my foot basin and connect them in series to threaten us. They said. This guy turned around and ran, taking out his communicator angrily as he ran. Lord Takeda. The ugly country wanted to kidnap our princess because of the Blue Star life and death trial. After the royal family stopped them, they activated the natural disaster formation and blew our homeland into ashes. Your Majesty, all the generals, officials, and the elite troops of the Empire have all been killed. Revenge. Revenge must be taken. Lotta Star. Su Wu, who had just resurrected the spirit of disaster, was slightly shocked. Buzz. Congratulations on completing the task of the special title. You get the title of Destroyer. You get 1 million experience points. A prompt appeared in front of Su Wu. This made him jump. He hurriedly looked at the title. Title. Destroyer. Every time you destroy a force, or an area, a planet, or a world, you will get a certain amount of experience points based on the size of the destroyed force and area. Ah, the benefits brought by this title seemed to be particularly tempting. Su Wu couldn't help but muttered softly when he saw this. Buzz. At this time, there was a message in the Chenkin network. Su Wu opened it and saw that it was a message from Zhang Ning. Brother Wu, don't hang around outside, go home quickly. The foot basin has just been turned into ashes by an unknown force. The initial judgment is that it is the power of disaster. Looking at Zhang Ning's message, Su Wu raised a wicked smile. Isn't it awesome? More than awesome. It's awesome. Zhang Ning smiled and responded. I only regret that I have never participated in this life. It's worth it even if I die once. I'll take you with me if I have a chance. Su Wu 30 replied. Now he is following the instructions of the slave from Lotta Star. He is walking towards the other party's safe house located more than 10 kilometers away from this area. At this time, he has disguised himself as the other party. When Zhang Ning was about to express his gratitude after reading it, an idea suddenly came to his mind and he could not help but ask 10 questions. Ahem. Did you destroy the foot basin? I am a little proud. My slaves can manipulate a 980 magnitude earthquake. I didn't see how strong this earthquake was, but you told me that the foot basin's native land was gone. 11. Su Wu said boastfully. Bang. Zhang Ning, who had just completed Wu Hu's instructions and discussed with Shensha Academy to apologize to Su Wu, almost fell to the ground. He turned his head and looked around. Seeing that no one noticed his embarrassing appearance, he hurriedly asked, Brother, you are bragging too much, but it's a little unreal. What? I have to take you to see it in person before I believe it. Let me tell you a fact. The area where the earthquake was triggered is near the Farong mountain base at the foot of Farong Peak. Su Wu said a key piece of information. Zhang Ning couldn't help but believe it after hearing it. Based on his understanding of Su Wu, this guy doesn't seem to like lying. At the moment, he hurriedly put himself and Su Wu sent the screenshot to Wu Yu. Crash. Wu Yu, who was drinking water at the lunar base, suddenly trembled, and the cup in his hand fell directly to the ground. Everyone in the room was suddenly stunned. What happened? Did Lord Wu throw away his favorite teacup? Or did he drop it by mistake? Boom. Seeing this, Wu Yu took advantage of the situation and directly overturned the documents on the desktop. He frowned and looked at the committee members who were looking for evidence of the destruction of the foot basin in front of him, and whispered, a bunch of trash. Who proposed this proposal? It's simply rubbish. The foot basin is gone, and there is no use in checking the previous data. Has the directional fluctuation range during the energy explosion been determined? Before the explosion, whether there was spatial displacement fluctuation in that area, have you determined it? He asked 2 questions in succession. This made everyone present stunned. Isn't it a big happy event that the foot basin is gone? You old man, are you so angry? Everyone is just pretending. There is no need to be serious. At this time, the representative of the Koreans stood up. My lord, I checked the specific test data and found that before the destruction of the foot basin had been attacked by meteorites and floods. The underground volcano has a slight fluctuation, but it is imprisoned by the magic circle. However, the earthquake that came later precisely destroyed the magic circle, and the power it brought became the key to detonating the foot basin. I think this is a man-made event. The only country that can do such a thing is the ugly country that controls the entire foot basin disaster chain and continues to strengthen disasters and energy all year round. Their purpose is to use the foot basin as a bomb, wait for one day to let it fly near Shangxia, and then detonate it. This time, maybe they are shooting themselves in the foot. The energy is still too much and it is not suppressed. He said seriously. Wu Yu's eyelids jumped. Is there any accurate evidence? Yes. The representative of the foot basin also confirmed it personally. The representative of the sticks knelt on the ground. We have been subordinate to Shangxia since ancient times. In the earliest time, our king was given the name by the emperor of Shangxia Empire. We made mistakes before. He slapped himself several times. Then he said, we are willing to submit to the great Shangxia again. Not long after, Su Wu came to the safe house that Muerxi mentioned. This safe house is located in a group of ancient ruins in the desert. This ruins is half hidden in the sand dunes. Su Wu found a mark according to the method Muerxi explained, and knocked on the mark. Clang! A light lit up under the corner of the half-wall not far from him. The light disappeared. An entrance to the underground was opened. And then a human professional who was similar to Muerxi, with dark skin and no hair, crawled out from the underground. Lord Muerxi. You are finally back. Su Wu immediately used the slavery skill on Sha Lao. Buzz. Congratulations on successfully enslaving Yilao. You get Yilao's dedication. You get 1000*24 gold coins. You get dagger 24. Su Wu looked at the poor Yilao. He used the detection technique on Yilao. A level 30 professional is so poor. Su Wu couldn't help asking. Yilao knelt on the ground and responded seriously, Dear Master. When Lord Muerxi is here, the people under his command are not allowed to have weapons above level 20. In peacetime, we are not even allowed to wear equipment. Lada Star is not big. The area is about the same as the moon. It is located in another time and space. Because it is a desert planet, resources are scarce. There are basically no powerful professionals here. So, this place was occupied by Muerxi, who was supported by Chuguo and Zhan, a long time ago, and became a transit station between the two countries. Originally, the residents here were sold by Muerxi to mine in the mines of the two countries in the other world. Those who stayed behind were gang forces and vicious robbers. Okay, take me to the second turn copy you are guarding. Su Wu ordered Yilao. Yilao nodded. He is Muerxi's assistant 363, and also Muerxi's keychain. This place is indeed under Muerxi's control. But the key must be in Yilao's hand. Because Yilao is Zhan's man. Zhan and Chuguo did this to let the two supervise each other. That's it. Su Wu followed Yilao into the underground passage. After they entered, a light lit up on the ground. The tunnel under the corner of the wall was once again covered by the power of magic, becoming exactly the same as the surrounding environment. The two walked through a corridor about 1 kilometer long and came to a safe house underground. This safe house has a teleportation array leading to Muerxi's base. Yilao took Su Wu to the teleportation array. Buzz. In less than 1 second, Su Wu's eyes lit up. He came to a bright environment. The architectural style here is similar to that of Egypt. There are guards holding spears around the teleportation array. Further away are a bunch of minions drinking and playing cards. When everyone saw Su Wu, they all knelt on the ground and shouted, Meet the Supreme King Muerxi. Meet the king's right hand Yilao. HMPH. Yilao snorted coldly. raised his head and ignored the group of professionals, turned around and walked towards the tall building on the side. Su Wu didn't say anything, and walked straight over. Just then, a man ran over. He stopped 3 meters away, knelt down and said, "King Muerxi. Those white skins sent a message through the magic communicator 5 minutes ago. Please take a look." Su Wu took it directly. He looked down, his pupils shrank. "The blue ice axe Yorick from the ugly country is coming." Azure ice axe. Su Wu entered the intelligence module of the Chenkin network, and submitted an expression to query intelligence. Ding! In the blink of an eye, a prompt appeared on the Chenkin network. Please pay 10,000 contribution points to check the basic situation of the ugly country Azure ice axe. Su Wu thought about it and paid the contribution points. Azure ice axe Yorick Narens, ugly country myth professional, 30 years old, level 78. Identity: aristocratic mercenary of the ugly country professional guild. Secret identity: regional agent leader of the ugly country's second time in space. Occupation: iron god of war. The second time in space. The first parallel time and space detected by the Blue Star civilization through professional props. The Blue Star time and space we are in is called the first time in space. I can't beat it, Su Wu muttered softly. Fortunately, the other party still has 30 minutes to come. He can make some arrangements. Immediately, Su Wu came to the copy of Lotta Star under the leadership of Yi Lao. This copy appeared in the basement of the ancient palace. Su Wu looked at the dungeon. Dungeon: Anubis sticks. Monster level: level 30 to 40. Main rewards: materials, magic equipment, suits, orange unique, 0.001%. Special rewards: 5 times dungeon experience reward for the first 5 times. Dungeon difficulty: normal, nightmare, hell. Note: this dungeon is a second-level dungeon and only second-level professionals can enter. It seems that there may not be enough time. Su Wu muttered softly after reading it. He tried to use the enslavement skill on the dungeon's portal. Buzz. You can't enslave this dungeon. Looking at the prompt in front of him, Su Wu sighed. Just when he wanted to give up, he was suddenly stunned. I can't enslave the dungeon, but I can enslave the natural environment. A range of 10 meters in diameter is enough to cover this dungeon. Thinking of this, he used the enslavement skill on the ground in front of the dungeon. Buzz. You have successfully enslaved the 100 square meters of the Anubis underground palace. Good. Su Wu's eyes lit up. He couldn't help but get nervous. Success or failure depends on this. If it doesn't work, I can only use another method. Muttered. He sent this environmental area into the enslavement space through the summoning skill. Buzz. In the blink of an eye, the ground of the underground palace and the entire 100 square meters of space were dug out. The portal of the copy disappeared along with the ground. A strong fluctuation appeared in the space. Under the violent fluctuation, the whole underground palace burst into an unbearable wail. Run! Su Wu rushed outside upon seeing this. Boom! The moment he left the ancient building, it collapsed. The powerful force stirred up thick dust. This caused the subordinates of Muerxi to panic. Yi Lao ran out at this time, his eyes turned, and he ordered the people around him, "You don't even know that there are assassins in the underground palace. Quick, 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 I blocked the entire camp. Everyone is on alert. Tell the brothers guarding the teleportation array at the border to be on alert." Yi Lao roared in a low voice. Everyone in the camp began to be moved, looking at the people who ran in the wrong direction in panic. Su Wu shook his head secretly. This is really a mob. He frowned and walked into a tent. The next step is to leave here. Su Wu muttered softly. He entered the Chenkin network and turned on the transmission module. Buzz. At this time, a message jumped into his eyes. You have an exclusive task. Su Wu was stunned and turned on the task module. He found the task. Exclusive task. The dark blue pirate plane in the second time in space openly robbed the transport caravan of our Shengxia Empire. I specially dispatched you to the pirate plane to destroy the plane. Task requirements. Please use the ultra-long-distance transmission module to transmit to the 7th set to number 12,009 column coordinates. Destroy the plane. Task explanation. There are 89 level professionals in this plane, and the lowest profession is 30 level professionals. They are all looters and pirates. Each of them has no less than 100 lives, and most of them are extremely vicious and have no humanity. According to the intelligence we have obtained, the pirates in this plane have defected to the ugly country. Task reward: 1100x experience card, 10 billion contribution points, Baron title. Wu Yu's note: there is a contact at the transmission coordinate point, who can provide you with a safe house. You need to use the ultra-long distance transmission module once to evacuate. Contact person: Fly. Contact code: desperate, the other party will say, welcome to join. You can add friends on the Chenkin network for verification. If you think it is safe and feasible, please perform this task. If you don't want to take risks, please refuse this task. Your safety comes first. Looking at the information in front of him, Su Wu realized that it must be Zhang Ning who told Wu Yu about the conversation between the two, and Wu Yu gave him this task. 100x experience card. 10 billion contribution points. It doesn't matter. But this Baron is a good thing. Must get it. Su Wu was overjoyed after seeing it. I accept this task. At that moment, Su Wu accepted the task. After that, he left the spirit of disaster and Yi Lao in the tent. I left here instantly through the super domain transmission module. Buzz. About 20 minutes later, after a lot of nausea, Su Wu finally got his feet on the ground. With his legs a little weak, he stood in front of a transmission array. Hello. A skinny young man stood in front of Su Wu. My name is Kang Ying. Welcome to the paradise of freedom, Molan. At this time, Su Wu had changed his appearance. He looked at the young man and said with a smile, I have nowhere to go, so I came here to take refuge. Welcome to join us. Kang Ying extended a hand of friendship. Su Wu shook hands with him. He followed him out of the public transmission area. He went to a shack area. In the process, the two added friends in the Chenkin network. Su Wu looked at the surrounding environment and frowned. I saw, under this bright and clear world, the whole street was full of slave traders. The slaves were imprisoned in cages one after another. There were orcs and succubi. There are also some humans, elves, and so on. In front of some restaurants, some racks were set up, and the meat of beastmen was being cut. The shouts of these professionals resounded around. The ground was stinking and disgusting. Some impatient guys were doing that kind of thing in broad daylight. It was simply shocking. There is no law here. If I hadn't led you, you would have been killed before you could walk 3 meters. Fly said to Su Wu, I am now the leader of the Red Monkey Pirates. Our group is a looter on the surface, but secretly it is a professional team that escorts the caravans that transport special materials for our Shanxia. I am a level 70 professional. If this mission does not have a 60% success rate, I suggest you leave directly after you arrive at the place Wang Jiao. He did not think that Su Wu, a level 30 second turn professional, was capable of destroying Mo Lan. This was simply a pipe dream. He was a level 70 undead mage, and he could recruit a large number of skeleton undead. But he still didn't dare to take this task. Because he was barely on the list here. The strongest man ranked first on the real pirate list could kill 10 of him with one punch. Su Wu walked and scanned the surroundings. He whispered, did you offend someone? There are stalkers everywhere here. And the eyes they look at you are very dangerous and cold. This is a result he obtained after analyzing with his super memory talent. He can clearly recall every picture he saw in his memory, the form, behavior and eyes of every life he saw in every picture, as well as the changes in time before and after, etc. Click. Fly was stunned when he heard the sound, and he still walked on his own. Huh. Mo Lan's first pirate gang is going to attack me. We stopped them from robbing Shen Sha's goods before, so we must be suspected. Once you are suspected here, the end is death. Lotta Star, outside the palace camp of Muirxi. A tall man in a gray cloak is approaching the camp ahead under the guidance of a guide. Blue Ice Axe Yorick frowned slightly. He found that something seemed to have happened in the palace camp. When he came to the door, Yi Lao went out to greet him. Welcome, Lord Yorick. Where is Muirxi? Yorick frowned and asked. He was already alert. He even prepared his skills. Yi Lao said solemnly, Lord Muirxi asked me to tell you that the team encountered an attack by an unknown force. Lord Muirxi hid the people in a safe area, but the assassins sent by that group chased to the palace and almost killed Lord Muirxi. Well, Take me to see Newark C. Yorick's heart sank. He came here this time because the team that arrested Su Wu did not return on time. Now it seems that something has happened. He looked up and looked around, and the direction that everyone was on guard was outside. This made him ask, who is the other party? At this time, the spirit of disaster who was in the tent suddenly stood up. He heard Yilao's conversation and the other party said the secret code. Click. The spirit of disaster stretched out his hand and pressed the ground. 15 seconds. Yes, it takes 15 seconds to accumulate the power needed for the earthquake. Click, click, click. The footsteps outside gradually approached. At the 14th second, Yorick came outside the tent. 15 seconds. Yilao carefully lifted the curtain of the tent. Master 440. Please come in. When Yorick was about to walk in, he stopped and found a monster squatting on the ground. This made him frown. You. Boom. The next second, the ground of the palace camp shook violently. And then, boom, everything around was instantly swallowed up by the cracked earth. Even Yorick was swallowed up by the crack when he had nowhere to stay. High heat energy from underground gushed out. The people in the camp were instantly burned to ashes. The spirit of disaster disappeared instantly. Yorick was desperately stacking buffs on himself and using various life-saving runes. Boom, a terrifying force shook completely. The next second, the entire Lotta Star exploded instantly. Under the collapse of the stars, everything on Lotta Star was shaken into dust by this force. This area turned into cosmic dust. On the other side, Su Wu's eyes moved slightly. Back. Buzz. The title of Destroyer is activated. Lotta Star is completely destroyed. You get 100 million experience points. Then, his title reward Li Tian. This made Su Wu overjoyed. Lotta Star is less than 1/20th of the dark blue plane. If the dark blue plane is destroyed, how much experience will I get? Immediately, he consumed 100 spirit points to revive the dead spirit of disaster. The spirit of disaster now has 16 chances to revive. At this time, Fly also brought Su Wu to the headquarters of the Red Monkey Pirates. When he walked into the door, he paused, handed a pirate identity token on his waist to his subordinates at the door, and solemnly ordered, "Go. Invite the Red Nose boss over. Just say that I will host a banquet for him in an hour. I have important things to discuss with him." Yes, the younger brother ran out excitedly with the token. After entering the headquarters, Su Wu found that the interior of the Red Monkey Pirates was very shabby. There were still some injured pirates on the ground receiving treatment. Fly looked around and took Su Wu to his office. Before entering the office, he ordered the kitchen to prepare a big meal to welcome the Red Nose boss. Red Nose is a pirate secretly supported by the Divine Bear Empire. If we are suspected or identified, he must be a leaker. Fly muttered to Su Wu, "How confident are you? How long will it take?" While speaking, he had opened the safe in the office, took out a ring and put it on his finger. Su Wu smiled faintly. 1 minute. Or less than 1 minute. In that case, I'm going to retreat. After hearing this, the Fly's eyes lit up. He locked the door of the office and activated a magic circle. In an instant, people outside saw the sound of the room. Su Wu in the room also heard it, and even saw 2 shadows entangled. Su Wu was stunned and turned to look at the Fly. The Fly smiled. "How else can I explain your coming? Among those jobs outside, there are spies from other pirate groups. I'm leaving. I wish you success." After saying that, the Fly left here without any nostalgia. Su Wu couldn't help but smile when he saw this. He summoned the spirit of disaster. "Let's start." Yes, the spirit of disaster reached out and touched the ground, and it said to Su Wu solemnly, "Master. It takes 5 minutes." "What?" Su Wu asked in confusion. The spirit of disaster said solemnly, "The earth power here is too scattered, and there is a magic circle blocking it. If you want to use skills to trigger a major earthquake, you must condense the earth power to activate the earthquake." "Okay." Su Wu nodded. Just as he was about to enter the Chenkin network, he was suddenly stunned. "What's the situation? The Chenkin network is disconnected." Su Wu frowned. He looked up at the window at this time. "I saw a little brother running towards this side." The other party came to the door and shouted, "Boss! Redbeard was killed by his little brother." Now the dark blue boss has activated the isolation magic circle and used special props to block the communication of the entire blue plane. I heard from a friend that the other party was ready to attack us. As soon as this sentence came out, the pirates outside stood up suddenly. Su Wu's eyes jumped after hearing this. It seems that this is the only way to get out. At that moment, he changed into the appearance of a fly. Then he closed his eyes and recalled the fly's every move through his super memory talent. Clean and neat, decisive. At that moment, he closed the magic phantom, pushed the door and walked out. Call the brothers. Prepare for a decisive battle. Roar. Instantly, the red monkey pirates cheered excitedly. They all made arrangements. Su Wu closed the door and thought carefully. Time passed little by little. At 4 minutes and 49 seconds, the people of the ink blue pirates had already smashed the door of the red monkey pirates. Suddenly, a dozen pirates in the pirate group suddenly turned against them. For a while, the red monkey pirates, which could resist for a while, were instantly defeated. Most of the brothers were killed. Only a few knelt down and surrendered. In the office, a group of professionals from different ethnic groups at level 60 or more surrounded Su Wu in a semicircle. Su Wu looked at everyone calmly. Before everyone broke through the office wall, he had covered the spirit of disaster with a piece of cloth. He looked at the group of fierce and fully armed professionals in front of him, and laughed fearlessly. I want to know why. He was stalling for time. This group of people did not doubt Su Wu's identity at all. They looked at Su Wu as if he were a dead person, and no one answered his question. Click, click. At this time, a man with blonde hair and double pupils followed a werewolf with blue hair in. Boss Mo Lan, Boss Mo Lan. The pirates kowtowed to the werewolf one after another. The werewolf nodded, looking down at Su Wu, and a glimmer of doubt flashed in his pupils. The blonde and double pupils looked at Su Wu excitedly and said, Fly. Didn't expect it. Boss Mo Lan has surrendered to our ugly country. Your Shengxia Empire's arrangement here will be completely in vain. From now on, this time and space trade route will be controlled by us. You will have no way to go. Ha ha, who are you? Su Wu looked at the other party in surprise and couldn't help asking. Obviously, the other party knew the fly. Since they were acquaintances, he would also be defeated. After all, he had just been in contact with the fly for less than 30 minutes. It was still difficult to disguise for a long time. As he said, he took off the mask from his face and sucked it into the slave space. At this time, the spirit of disaster had just completed the condensation of the Earth's power. As long as Su Wu said a word, it would immediately cause a major earthquake. The professional with blonde hair and double pupils was stunned. He looked at Su Wu in shock and asked, Who are you? Where is the fly? The dark blue boss looked even more solemn. It looked at Su Wu and said, Tell me the whereabouts of the fly, and I will spare your life. And give you a chance to join me. To be honest, I admire your calmness in the face of danger. When saying this, it waved to its subordinates. The surrounding 60-level professionals were divided into several teams and walked quickly outside. Quick, search every place. Everyone listen, anyone who dares to harbor the red monkey boss fly will be killed without mercy. Boss Mo Lan has said that anyone who provides the location of the fly will be rewarded. Su Wu heard the roars of the crowd outside. He stepped lightly on the ground with his left foot twice. He did not avoid this embarrassment by entering the slave space. It's not that this method doesn't work. It's because he was worried that the portal left outside the slave space would be shattered by Mo Lan. Quote. Quote. The blonde man with double pupils was about to speak when his eyes moved. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, the ground under their feet shook. Su Wu smiled. Have you been to hell? How about I take you there? This made Mo Lan's pupils shrink. In an instant, a major earthquake suddenly broke out in the entire Mo Lan plain. The strong earthquake brought endless geothermal spitting, volcanic eruptions, and even tsunamis. In just a dozen seconds, the stable magic circle of the Molan plain was completely destroyed by the power of the earthquake. Su Wu, Molan and the blonde man fell into the underground ravine. Just when they were about to be buried, Molan yelled, Boy, you want to use this method to trick me. You are still too naive. Don't worry, I won't let you die so easily. I will make you taste the pain of living a life worse than death. You actually destroyed the Molan plane. The blonde man shouted angrily. Buzz. At the same time as the sound sounded, a beam of light quickly drifted around with Molan as the center. In the blink of an eye, Su Wu instantly disappeared in the uncontrollable earthquake. The guardian spirit, the blonde man, Molan and a large number of pirates around him also disappeared at the same time. At this time, the continuous eruption of earthquake power. The blue plane was completely collapsed. Only some small areas with countless protective magic circles and protective props were not shattered. But the entire plane was floating in the void. In the deep darkness, endless dust and debris were floating in disorder. The earthquake disappeared because of this. At this time, Su Wu stood on a solid piece of land. He was surprised to find that he seemed to be teleported to an unknown space by Molan using some props. Here, the Chenkin network is still unusable. Buzz. Welcome to the fighting arena of the Knights of the Round Table initiated by Molan. The fighting arena will be conducted in an unregulated manner. Your current level is detected to be low. For the sake of fairness, you will receive 10 times the experience reward for each enemy you kill. Rules. Only one of you and Molan's professionals can survive, please kill the other at all costs. Rules. In this fighting arena, resurrection, invincibility, immortality and other talent skills are invalid. Time. None. Preparation time. 5 minutes. Looking at the prompts in front of him, Su Wu was a little confused. Molan used the copy props to pull them into the copy to escape the fate of being wiped out by the earthquake. He looked up. He saw that he was in a blue light curtain. The opposite side was about 300 meters away. This area is about 2 kilometers in range. There are no mountain and water obstacles. It is a flat land. Molan's side is in a red light curtain. The professionals in this light curtain were a mass of black, with hundreds of them. The dark blue eyes stared at Su Wu coldly, and he roared in a low voice, "Boy! No matter who you are dead. I will make you and the forces behind you regret it. Ha, do you really think that you can brag about your disadvantages just because you are 59 levels higher than me?" Su Wu exhaled a breath. He thought he could take this opportunity to experience the feeling of death. Unexpectedly, the other party actually had such props. This made him alert. In the future, when carrying out such tasks, you must be well prepared. Don't be like this time, the fly ran away and left me here to suffer. After hearing this, Molan thought that Su Wu was just being stubborn. He turned his head and looked at the blonde man with double pupils and said, "Count Ahri. I suffered heavy losses this time. Although most of my subordinates have entered here, the old nest is gone. You must be responsible. Don't worry, we have prepared magic warships. The Molan plane is gone, but you have a more powerful armed fortress and unlimited resources for various strategic wars. This area is still your territory." Count Ahri promised solemnly. He is a noble of the southern merchant group of Ugly Country. Molan nodded after hearing this, and then he said to Ahri and the subordinates around him, "Everyone. The fighting arena is a prop I got at a huge cost. I wanted to use it to deal with the high-level professionals of Shengxia, but I didn't expect to catch a small fish. Don't kill me directly later." As soon as these words came out, the pirates around shouted excitedly, "Boss, don't worry. I will definitely let him experience what a bucket of paste is. Ha ha. Boss, he will be tortured. This time he will be cut 6,000 times. Ha ha. Before cutting, let him loosen my skin for me. I want him to eat si." For a while, all kinds of dirty words gathered together. Molan was satisfied with the momentum of his subordinates. He immediately arranged, "After this, I will send you to my soul storage ring. After I receive the warship from Count Ahri, we will roam this star field together." They didn't take Su Wu seriously at all. Instead, they planned the future in front of Su Wu. Count Ahri agreed cheerfully, "Don't worry. This time we will definitely give you the most satisfactory compensation." Just like that, time passed little by little. 5 minutes passed in a flash. Buzz. Just when the last 1 second ended, the light curtain blocking both sides suddenly disappeared. The Molan pirates were looking at Su Wu jokingly. They were suddenly stunned. What the hell? What the hell is that? Summoned creature. It looks so powerful. The pirates were stunned. It was the first time they had seen such a summoned creature. Molan's eyes widened after seeing it, and he couldn't help but said excitedly, haha. Is this a biological castle? I didn't expect this kid to have some financial resources. I want this thing. Listen to me. I want this castle. When we attack later, if anyone dares to destroy my castle, I will kill him. His crazy voice almost trembled. Count Axi was even more excited. Haha. This kid must be a big shot in Shanxia. They are so distressed this time. It's great. Attack! Attack! The crazy voices of the pirates rang out. Su Wu was already standing in the control room of Howl's castle, a bunch of rubbish. Do you really think I'm made of mud? Howl, if you can't stop me, just blow yourself up. I can revive you at any time. I don't believe it. I can't even skin you alive. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.